we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
I'm Christine Lisi. A couple of weeks after Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said they would not trade Micah Parsons, as the star edge rusher had requested, ESPN's reporting several teams have spoken to Dallas about a potential Parsons trade. And for the first time, the Cowboys appear willing to at least listen. Three-time Super Bowl champion and University of North Carolina GM, Michael Lombardi.
Everybody's going to be interested in the guy. I mean, who has pass rushers that can change the game? He's a hot commodity, and he can tilt the game. And I think what we saw with the Cowboys traded for Charles Haley back in the day, they won Super Bowls after they got Haley. This is the kind of player we're talking about.
Michael Lombardi on the Pat McAfee Show. Amid his contract stalemate, the Cowboys star edge rusher is getting a second opinion on his back. Afternoon baseball. Red Sox defeated the Orioles 3-2. Boston now 3.5 back of AL East leading Toronto and holds the top AL wildcard spot. MLB leading Brewers down 6-4 to the Diamondbacks top 6. AL West leading Astros and Rockies still tied at 3, now top 7. Cubs have taken a 1-0 lead on the Giants, bottom 1. Chicago holds the top NL wildcard spot.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, we're getting you set for week 1 of the college football season. Will Ohio State go back-to-back, or will a team like Texas put a stop to it? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Aaron Taylor in 15 minutes. Eric Lain from the ACC Network, former Clemson Tiger in hour number 2. Christian LaCouture and Chad Jasmin, a former Tiger and a former Tiger, LSU and Clemson, in our studio in hour number 3. But let us begin as we do. Mike Triplett as well. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, Doug, man, we got a ton to dive into today as we inch closer to LSU and Clemson. This is certainly not the story that anyone associated with LSU will be excited to hear as a lead today, as we're just over 48 hours away from kick with LSU and Clemson. Arguably the most anticipated kickoff opener ever at LSU. It's right up there with LSU Oregon in 2011. I mean, you can go back through the annals of time and maybe find something that rivals this, but a top 10 matchup on the road at Clemson, two powerhouse programs in college football. And AJ Haulcy might have to sit the first half of this game. Quick catch up if you maybe are just hearing this for the first time. AJ Haulcy was one of the gems of this transfer class for LSU. He was first team All Big 12 safety a year ago at the University of Houston. Well, in the final game of the season, Houston was playing BYU, and with about 3 minutes to go in that game, BYU scored a touchdown, which sealed the game, and there was a scuffle. AJ Haulcy was involved. He and a BYU player were both ejected. Because Houston did not play in a bowl game, that was the last game that AJ Haulcy played at Houston. Now, there is some ambiguity, but the rule seems to state that AJ Haulcy, because he was ejected for fighting, would have to sit the first half of the next game. Houston did not play in a bowl game, so that's the last game Haulcy played. If players still have eligibility, that penalty carries over to the next season, which, of course, is Saturday against Clemson. Yet another reason to play a Week 0 game. Hunt and I over at LouisianaSports.net did effort earlier today reaching out to people at LSU to get confirmation. We did connect with an LSU spokesperson, and what we were told was LSU was unaware of this until today. The Southeastern Conference was unaware of this until today, and apparently it was Clemson who made officials aware of this. I can't help but laugh because this started. It is kind of funny. It started with a Clemson reporter named David Hood. David Hood is with TigerNet.com. No idea. I'm sure he's awesome at his job. David Hood tweeted, doing research and found starting safety AJ Haulcy, who transferred from Houston, was ejected for fighting in the fourth quarter of Houston's bowl game against BYU. I'm fairly certain he will have to sit the first half against Clemson. First off, dog, like, I respect what you got to do. But if anyone here believes today that David Hood of TigerNet.com was doing his quote-unquote research by watching film of AJ Haulcy and Houston against BYU in the fourth quarter of a game that was out of hand, like, if we're to believe that he just was doing his research and was watching film of AJ Haulcy and stumbled upon that, brother, I got some beachfront property in Bunkie I want to sell you. Clemson leaked this. Someone internally at Clemson leaked this to David Hood. He put it out there. Now, maybe it's legitimate. Brian Kelly meets with reporters this evening after practice. He no doubt will be asked about it. He's got his coach's show tonight as well. He'll be asked about it. Hunt and I, candidly, we're digging through the NCAA rulebook, and there's some ambiguity to me, a layperson who's not ultimately familiar with everything therein. If you go read the story we have at LouisianaSports.net, we do have the excerpts from the NCAA rulebook, and there's a section for fighting where it very clearly says, for fighting in the last game of a season, those with remaining eligibility shall serve suspensions during the first game of the next season for which they are eligible. That would stand to reason Haulcy for fighting. The ambiguity is that if you look up the box score, and I looked up the box score at both ESPN and at Houston's website, it was not fighting, and it was not a personal foul. He was penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct. Unsportsmanlike conduct does not carry the suspension. So that's where the ambiguity seems to come in. However, the player from BYU who was involved in that was ejected did serve the half suspension in the bowl game. So that's where I think LSU, the SEC, everyone is working through this to see what is going to transpire if AJ Haulcy is going to be eligible for the first half of the game. There's no way to sugarcoat this. If Haulcy's unavailable, that's a gigantic blow to this defense. We have talked about it ad nauseum throughout this offseason and throughout this fall camp. LSU a year ago was horrendous at safety. It was their worst position defensively. It was the worst safety play I've ever seen at LSU. We've gone through the PFF grades. Your safeties were your lowest graded starters on defense. And their tackling grades were atrocious. One of the reasons you were so bad in giving up long runs, I don't need to list them off for you. You remember the long runs that LSU allowed a year ago. I mean, the long run at the beginning of the second half against Nichols, the long run from Lenora Sellers, the long run from Rocket Sanders. Do we need to go through what Marcel Reed did against you? I mean, it was Jalen Milroe. I mean, it was your kryptonite because your safety play was so bad. And so you go get a guy in Haulcy who was first team all Big 12, dynamic in coverage and physical to play the run. And he has had an outstanding fall camp where he is running with the ones. I mean, he's going to be your starting free safety. He's going to be the center fielder, like the defensive, like the captain in the back end of that defense. And he may not be there for the first half of this game against Clemson on the road with Cade Clubnik and all those weapons on the outside. And yeah, that is there's no minimizing that. Now, we'll wait and see what Brian Kelly says here on Thursday night, and we'll see what happens on Saturday. Worst case scenario, Haulcy sits the first half, plays the second half. Best case, he's able to play the full game. If he can't go, what we've seen primarily, and what I think they were going to do, is Haulcy would be at free and Cooley would be at strong. I think that's how they would start the season. The backups there have been Deshaun Spears and Javen Toviano. Jordan Gilbert, who's played a ton of safety for you a year ago, has actually been running at the second team at star linebacker behind Harold Perkins, running really as a third team safety. So my guess is, if Haulcy can't go, again, guess, you have a decision to make. Do you play Jordan Gilbert at free or do you play Deshaun Spears at free? Spears, younger guy with much higher ceiling. Gilbert, older guy with a few physical limitations and liabilities. Which way would you go? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. And hope we don't need to find out. Because I hope AJ Haulcy is going to be eligible for that first half and ready to go. But that's something that we have to follow. Have to watch here, and we'll see what Brian Kelly says, because no doubt when he meets reporters, it'll be the first thing out the chute. Either he'll be asked about it or he'll address it straight up. But in any event, this is not the story, needless to say, we wanted to be talking about here, pushing off from the dock on a Thursday show, just about a little more than 48 hours away from kickoff of LSU and Clemson. AJ Haulcy, his eligibility for the first half of that game very much in question right now. All right, it is AFR. We are brought to you every day in our show opened by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. I know a lot of you are going to be hitting the road to Clemson, South Carolina to watch this game. Before you go, hit your local retailer and make sure you grab plenty of ice-cold Bud Light in the officially licensed LSU Bud Light cans or aluminum bottles. I love the look. It's so sharp. We got them here on set with us. They went with the white can and bottle design, a hat tip to LSU's great tradition of wearing white jerseys at home. You'll find it at great local retailers all over town and all over Louisiana. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. If you're not heading to Clemson, you're going to be at a game watch party at your home. Make sure you've got your ice chest, your refrigerator stocked full of Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Every tailgate, every game watch. If you're going to be at a bar, make sure your favorite watering hole, you're getting it on draft, bottle, can, they got it. Drink easy with the great taste of the Tigers, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of LSU. That's Bud Light. All right, y'all, it is after further review. We are going to knock out a quick break. Come back. Aaron Taylor, former Notre Dame offensive lineman, one of the founders of the Joe Moore Award, national college football analyst for CBS, has his own podcast with an ode to offensive line play. Can't wait to chop it up with Aaron Taylor here in just a minute. And what a time, considering all the conversations we've had about offensive line on both sides for LSU and Clemson. We'll dive into that as we continue here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge.
After further review.
All right, I want you to get out your smartphone, or if you are sitting at your desk, maybe your laptop, especially if you're a homeowner. I want you to try this, okay? Just so you know that I'm not putting on here, okay? If you're curious how much your home is worth, maybe you've been in that home a while, you're just not sure what you paid for it, how much equity do you have, you want to find out. Darren James has launched the new agent225.com. All you have to do, go to the homepage. If you're on desktop, go to the bottom on the right. You'll see where it says home value. You can, literally, just depends on how fast your internet is. You can do this in less than 30 seconds. Click home value, type in your address, enter, boom. In seconds, it'll tell you exactly what your home would appraise for today. It's a great launching point to know if you're looking to buy, to sell, how much your home's worth, how much equity you have in it. Start there at agent225.com. That's agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got 7 guys, and they're all starters, and you know, whoever runs out there first, I could care less between that group, honestly. I think they're all going to play, and whoever Matt runs out there first, I'll be good with it.
Man, we have had so much conversation here in Baton Rouge about the LSU offensive line. It'll be 5 new starters in different positions. 4 of those seem set, but Brian Kelly said earlier in this week they may play 6, 7, 8 on the offensive line. There's been a rotation at left guard. Clemson's dealing with the same thing. But they got 4 returning starters, but there's 2, 3 guys rotating at that left guard spot trying to figure it out. We've had so much conversation as to whether that's going to be a real significant issue for LSU. What about Clemson? There are few better people to have this conversation with than Aaron Taylor. Dude's one of the, arguably the greatest offensive linemen in Notre Dame history. Outland, Lombardi, first-round draft pick. He's one of the founders of the Joe Moore Award. He's won Super Bowls. You've seen him on ABC, CBS College Football Analyst, and he's good to hang with us for a couple of minutes here. Aaron, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Oh, my pleasure, brother. And me being the best O-lineman to come out of Notre Dame is very arguable.
I don't know, man.
Good dudes.
Hey, look, there's a lot of good dudes, but you want to start putting resumes up, and we're starting talking about like consensus All-American, unanimous All-American, Lombardi. Let's just say this. We can agree on this. You're on the short list. And thank you for the time. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say Quentin Nelson would be at the top of mine. I even fanboyed out on him watching him play, and McGlinchey and just Ronnie Stanley. That whole Harry Heastand crew was incredible. So with all due respect to myself, there's been some great ones. But for an old guy, we did get it back in the day. But, man, I'm excited about this slate of games we got coming up because it's going to be all about the trenches, in my opinion.
Hey, the three guys you just mentioned, which is interesting, were all recruited and coached during the Brian Kelly era. And it's one thing we've talked about here is for some reason – he has really been able to identify throughout his career, even here, guys like Will Campbell, identify, recruit, develop elite offensive linemen. Aaron, what's your take on that? Is it just because it's a focus? Is it something that he recruits to? What's your take there?
I think he appreciates offensive lines, and he understands how important it is. A lot of Brian Kelly's notoriety and what he's known for is the development of quarterbacks, and that's been a consistent piece. But those two things go hand in hand, and I think this game and this matchup that we're going to have this weekend is a great example of that. I think there's been a lot of attention that's been placed on what Garrett Nussmeier is going to be able to do and obviously what Cade Clubnik is going to be able to do. But it's really going to be the supporting cast around those two players that are going to have a hell of a lot more to do with the outcome, in my opinion, than how well those two play individually on their own.
Let's talk about kind of where we let in, Aaron. If you could hear the soundbite from Dabo where he was talking about, they've got 5, 6, 7 guys that they're going to play. If you use them all as starters, they're going to rotate. They're all going to play. Here, earlier in the week, Brian Kelly said something similar, Aaron. He said there's 6, 7, 8 guys that are going to play, and he sort of said rotation is not a bad thing. I kind of look at it and go, man, if you got 8, you don't have 5. Where do you stand on rotating in a game on the offensive line?
Rotating is not bad if it's in the spring or maybe in fall camp, but once you get to the regular season, you want consistency, and that's a hill I'll die on. I know things are changing because depth and the length of the season, that coaches feel that they have to be able to play more players because what we're learning is they're going to need them. But the continuity is the thing that separates our position from all others in our sport. We have to be 5 that function together as one, see the game through one pair of eyes. If I'm a left guard and I'm working with a left tackle, we're on the backside of zone and I'm covered on my outside shoulder with a 3 technique, I have to innately understand and feel, based on where that linebacker is, that we've got a combination block to, how long I have to stay for the backside tackle to take over, or how quickly I can leave if that backer is one that likes to trigger and fire. If you're rotating people and then you add different rotating backs to that, their sight lines, their eyes leading their feet, all of that are little nuances that determine whether or not a play hits correctly or it doesn't. So I'm not a believer in rotating people, and I do believe if you've got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. I think ideally you'd want to have 5 consistent upper-class linemen that play every game next to each other like Army did a year ago, and that's why they earned the award. They were the only unit to do that, and they were by far the most consistent. We saw what happened to Oregon. We saw what happened to Texas. We saw what happened to Notre Dame. We saw what happened to Ohio State. When they moved even one piece, it took them weeks to be able to get things back. So I'm not saying if you've got healthy bodies that's going to be the case, but for me and my money, call me old school here, I'd rather have my 5 best out there and play with those dudes all season long.
Get him on Twitter at Aaron Taylor CFB. Also, make sure you subscribe to the new YouTube show, Trench Life. We'll talk more about that, the Joe Moore Award, coming up here in just a quick second with Aaron. But so just one follow-up there, Aaron. How quickly, this has been our entire conversation with LSU's offense the entire offseason. You'll have 5 new starters. You got portal dudes who have played a ton of football, top 100 guys, right? Like, so really, you got talent, you got depth, numbers. What you don't have is the 5 playing together. How quickly is it reasonable to assume they'll assimilate and get on the same page?
Dude, I hope it's the first series in Death Valley. They're going to need to figure that out. Holy smokes, man. I'll say this, is the award, we don't have any sort of designation, even a preseason watch list until week 6, because it takes that long, in our opinion, for the cream to start to rise to the top. That doesn't mean that units aren't playing well before then, but in general, it takes a while to congeal. It's like when you're making gumbo, right? It doesn't taste as good on Monday, or if you're making a pot of red beans, as it does on Tuesday.
All right.
You got to let things sit and marinate and kind of let those flavors kind of meld and get together. So it takes some time. They're not going to have any time this Saturday night. They've got to be ready on the first series, because I'm going to tell you what, LSU Tiger fans, the front seven they're going to see could be the best in the country. They are going to be a problem. They've got T.J. Parker, number 3, off the outside edge. They've got a defensive tackle who also plays in, and Peter Woods, number 11. They line those guys up across the line of scrimmage in all 5 positions, and they kind of pick and poke, like a lot like we see in the NFL, and they're looking for matchups. They also do a lot of things to disguise where they're lining up and have a lot of movement. That's the video that in the film breakdown we did on Trench Life this week, is showing some examples of what that looks like. It's incredibly difficult, because what they're assuming is that their 5 rushers are better than your 5 blockers, and in most cases they're right. So if you're not on the right page, if your back doesn't know who to block, if the communication's not there, if you got pieces rotating in and out, it could be a very long night. And what we know about Garrett Nussmeier, does an excellent job of standing in the pocket. Dude is tough as nails, but under pressure, he's made bad decisions, particularly in the second half, with 10 of his interceptions coming in the last 2 quarters when games matter. If that's the case in Clemson, South Carolina on Saturday night, they're going to walk out of there with an L and the 4th straight loss to open the season under Brian Kelly.
Aaron, we've talked a lot. I mean, you can imagine here, with as much excitement as there is for this game, we've talked about this game every which way you can imagine for the last 6 months. The interesting thing about Woods and Parker, who are phenomenal talents, Clemson a year ago was 84th in the country against the run. In all 4 losses, they allowed an average of more than 200 rush yards a game. LSU couldn't run last year. They were 107th in the country in rush offense. Why, with such great talent, was Clemson's run defense so bad last year?
In my opinion, looking at it, linebacker play was certainly a factor. I think scheme got them at times. And just because you're a good pass rusher doesn't necessarily translate to being a good run-stopping unit. So, candidly, I haven't studied it enough to definitively put my finger on that. I've watched it. I haven't studied it. There's a very big difference between those two. Loosely, at a high level, those are the things that come to mind right out of the gate. But your point is spot on, and that's who's going to be able to run the ball, who's going to be able to get stops. And it's crazy, because when we think about how much college football has changed and the tectonic shifts we've seen in the sport, the more it's changed, the more it stays the same. It's still a game of blocking and tackling. And we love the skill positions, and we love the 50-50 balls, and we love the go routes and the Joe Burrow historic offensive seasons. But teams that go all the way and are capable of doing what the goals are for both of these teams that we're going to see on Saturday night, you've got to be able to be at your best when your best is needed, and that means run the ball when you want to, not when you have to, and to be able to get stops when you got to get yourself off the field.
He's Aaron Taylor, all-time great, unanimous All-American, first-round pick, Super Bowl champion. You see him on CBS, also hosted Trench Life on YouTube. By the way, the video that Aaron was referring to, I just retweeted, so if you follow us on Twitter, I just retweeted the link to that YouTube video. There's a breakdown of line play with LSU and Clemson. It's a great video. Go check it out. But that's a good – I want to ask you about Tom Allen as well, and just because new defensive coordinator, I want to ask how that changes. But before we get to that, you've mentioned a couple times, of course, the Joe Moore Award, which you founded. And LSU won back in 2019. I know a lot of people here take a lot of pride in that. If you would, maybe give us a little bit of context there, Aaron, why you went about founding the award.
Well, it's a great question. I would tell all these stories about Coach Moore and how he profoundly changed my life and got me and so many others to be the best versions of ourselves as men, let alone sending 52 dudes to the NFL in 18 seasons. That's almost 3 per year. Cat never had a starter as a senior at Notre Dame that didn't go on and at least have a cup of coffee in professional football. So the best there's ever been. But beyond that, he was masterful at simplifying the complex and getting people to move beyond what our comfort zones were. And we all tell the stories. We all laugh. and he represented toughness and teamwork and working together and sacrificing, the comfort for the greater good and your ego and all of those things. And we wanted to find a way to represent that, so we chose to create the Heisman for Fat Guys. But the difference is it's the only group or unit award, and that was really the light bulb moment, Matt, was when I went to ESPN's site and I looked at the 26 different college football awards. They were all individual awards. But the conversations we were having about the room and the O-line room and our position was everybody. It was walk-ons. It was All-Americans. It didn't matter. If you were in that room and putting in the work, you were one of us. So our tagline became, I am because of us, and we become and still are the only group or unit award in all of sports that I'm aware of, and the trophy, also the biggest in sports.
Yeah.
We figured if it takes 5 to earn it, it should take 5 to lift it. It's 7 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and weighs 800 pounds. So it's been a heck of a journey, man. We did all this without a playbook, but we very quickly become the second most popular college football award, and we've got our eyes on that number 1 spot.
It's like having a giant piano rolled into football ops. It was, of course, there at LSU for the 2019 season, and it's still Aaron, I guess it's would I call it the top? Because if you go into their award area at football ops, there's still the Joe Moore Award, like the trophy part that's the top. That stays at the school, but the large award rotates, correct?
Yep, it's a Stanley Cup model. You earn it. It stays with you for a year, and then it moves on to the next one. There was one time it didn't move, and that's when Michigan won it in back-to-back years in 21 and 22. But it's funny, man. The players get used to it, and when we come to take it away, to take it to the secret location of the new winner, like, oh man, we'll get it back. Don't worry. And like they hug her. Michigan left some roses underneath it, so when we rolled it out, there was a rose that was sitting in the spot where all the dust was. It's like it really is something that I think matters, and it's something that the entire team enjoys. It's the one moment that these big uglies get their time in the sunshine, and it's a really fun process. We want to be the award of the people because we represent what people are about.
Aaron, I know we're short on time, man, but do you have a quick thought on Tom Allen moving from Penn State to Clemson and how that might change what Clemson does defensively Saturday?
Well, it's still going to be aggressive. It's still going to be, causing problems and creating fires that you're going to have to be able to put out. He's somebody that demands high effort. That secondary for Clemson is outstanding. Avion Terrell, he can match. He's like a little baby Tyrann Mathieu. His nickname is
hang on now, bro. Whoa. That's blasphemy around here.
I said baby.
That's blasphemy.
Baby. I said baby. I'm saying watered down. He plays in that style where he will make tackles near the line of scrimmage. But they're 7-8 deep there, so they're going to be fresh. So that matchup on the outside edge and the perimeter with the wide receivers that LSU brings to the table, man, there's so many different individual matchups in this game that are going to make it a really fun watch. And this is the new playoff era, so whoever comes out of there with an L is not out of it. That's the one thing that sucks. But I think getting entertaining games like this to start the season, this feels more like an NFL wild card weekend than anything else. This is a monster weekend of games, and LSU-Clemson's near the top of the list in my book.
It's going to be great theater. Aaron Taylor, y'all get him on Twitter at Aaron Taylor CFB. Make sure you go subscribe to Trench Life on YouTube. New show. There's a great breakdown, again, of the LSU-Clemson matchup. If you want to check that out, it's a must-watch. Make sure you get it there. Aaron, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much for the visit. Hopefully we get to do it again as the season goes along.
Yeah, baby. Go Tigers.
Let's go, man. I love to hear that. The right Tigers as well. Not the caffeine-free diet Tigers that live up in Clemson, South Carolina. All right, it's After Further Review. Appreciate Aaron. Great stuff there, man. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. They're a great partner of ours, a great partner of LSU's as well, and a great community partner. We talk a lot about how Our Lady of the Lake is a championship health partner of LSU athletics. We've talked plenty about how exciting it is that the naming rights for the new basketball arena, which I'm fired up for as that project continues to move forward, what that's going to mean, not only for LSU, but the community, the whole region. But Our Lady of the Lake is also investing $250 million, FMOL, the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady, the health system, $250 million into upgrading healthcare facilities, not only in Baton Rouge, but all over their footprint. It's a multi-state healthcare system, the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady, of which Our Lady of the Lake is a part. Of course, their world-class physicians care for the LSU athletes, the LSU students, and everyday champions like you and me. They are a championship health partner of LSU Athletics. You can learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU. That's ololrmc.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. So fired up to have you aboard with us here, man. We got so many great guests. Eric McLean from the ACC Network, former Clemson Tiger. He's here in 45 minutes. He'll give us a preview from the Clemson side. Mike Triplett in Hour 3. Also, I'm excited about this. Our buddy Christian LaCouture, former number 18 at LSU, and Chad Jasmin, who is from St. James, played running back at Clemson in the early 2000s. They both worked together at Mockler Beverage. Of course, they're great partners and sponsors of ours here on the show. They're going to be in studio with us together at the start of Hour 3. So I'll have a former LSU Tiger and a former Clemson Tiger who worked together in our studio to talk about the game coming up in hour number 3. So fired up for that. Okay, it's After Further Review, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Downtown Baton Rouge, the old Louisiana National Bank building, the original high-rise in downtown Baton Rouge, celebrating its centennial. Not the hotel, but the building, celebrating its centennial. It opened in 1925. This October, they've got so much planned for the centennial of the building. If you've never been in Watermark Baton Rouge, make it a point to go. And there's so many reasons you can't. Man, why would I walk into a hotel? Because it's so much more than just a hotel. It's like a time capsule in downtown Baton Rouge. Maybe you're going to go spend some time walking the streets in downtown Baton Rouge, see the sights, the Capitol, the old governor's mansion, the old Capitol, the USS Kid, whatever it is, and you pop in and have lunch at the Gregory or at Milford's on 3rd. You have a cocktail in the lobby bar. Just go experience Watermark Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
It's not just a game. It's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
You know, we don't have to do too much. I think sometimes you go into a first game and you feel like you gotta go do all this insane, crazy plays and go make all this wild stuff happen. But at the end of the day, you just gotta do the routine plays and do them really well and be smart, be efficient, and just go rip it and just have fun.
It's Clemson quarterback Cade Clubnik. He was asked what has to be different after losing the last two openers. It's interesting, as much as we have talked about and focused on here, LSU losing 5 consecutive openers, which I know we all want to vomit every time we hear it. It's like every time you hear that, you have to eat a hot dog. And by the time you've eaten 37 hot dogs, you just want to throw up everywhere. It's how I feel every time we talk about losing 5 straight openers. But Clemson has lost their last 2. They lost last season to Georgia. They got just choked out 34-3. And then 2 years ago, they lost their opener at Duke. So that's a team that's fought it a little bit in these marquee openers as well. But something's got to give on Saturday night in Clemson, South Carolina. We're going to go around the SEC in just a quick second. If you're just joining us, just knocking off of work, if you maybe hop into the car, flipping on YouTube, watching us, thank you for being there, wherever you may be. The news of the day that we're following is that LSU transfer safety AJ Haulcy may very well miss the first half of the game against Clemson. This is something that wasn't on anybody's radar. Haulcy, was ejected with about 3 minutes to go in Houston's finale against BYU last season. They didn't play in a bowl game. So the 1.5 game suspension carries over to the first game of the next season. So that would be this year, Saturday against Clemson, meaning Haulcy, if by letter of the law, if all this is interpreted correctly, would miss the first half of the game. Clemson is the one who noticed this. They pointed it out. Clearly, they leaked it to some reporter, some guy, David Hood. It's just very clear that's what happened. Hunt contacted a spokesperson at LSU earlier today for LouisianaSports.net. The video, if you're watching, this is it on the back screen. It is linked at LouisianaSports.net if you want to see what happened. But clearly, Clemson was aware. They leaked it to a reporter there to get the story out, and the reporter obliged. But Brian Kelly will meet with reporters this evening after practice. He'll have his coach's show tonight, and so he'll be asked about it. It's not a lot of time to make a determination, but one of the things that if LSU is without AJ Haulcy, that if you want a silver lining, and there really isn't one because he's outstanding. If you ask me who I think the most impactful transfers are on this team, I would tell you Braylon Moore, AJ Haulcy, Berrien Brown. That would be my top 3. And then shortly thereafter, I would go, I'd go Mansour Lain, Bernard Gooden, and Josh Thompson in the mix there as well. But Haulcy is a massively significant upgrade at your biggest position of need, and he may not be there from jump in a really hostile environment to start the season. So we'll see when Brian Kelly meets with reporters what he has to say about it. But on Monday, when Brian Kelly was asked about the veteran safeties, Haulcy and Cooley, and what they bring, this is what he said Monday.
They have practiced. They have competed in the manner that we thought that they would. They attack every practice. They're our hardest workers. That, in my experience, has proven to be the differentiator between those guys that haven't played a lot of football and have. They show it in practice, too. They play with a swagger. They make plays in practice, and they're not doing the sword thing and, all that stuff. They're like, next play. And to me, those little nuances show I'm confident. It's kind of like the old adage, you hear it all the time. You get in the end zone, give the ball to the official that you expect to be there again. And so I see a lot of that on the field.
We'll find out if, in fact, Haulcy will be on the field for the first half, or he'll have to wait to the second half before he gets out there to make his LSU debut. When we know, we'll certainly pass it along. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. A lot of people bringing their rings for an upgrade. you get engaged maybe when you're in your 20s, and then you get into your 30s and your 40s, and maybe you start doing a little better professionally, making a little more money, and it's time for an upgrade. You can trade in that old diamond for a new upgraded diamond. A lot of people do that. Maybe check it out. You maybe have a milestone anniversary coming up. Great opportunity to go see our friends at Lee Michaels. If you can't find the ring that you want, they'll find it for you. And if they can't find it, they'll make it. They want her to be thrilled and you to be a hero. That's why they've thrived for 4 decades, 10 stores now with the buying power to give you great selection and great price. It's perfect. It's like Goldilocks. It's just right. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Auburn Tigers.
Wide receiver Eric Singleton is expected to play at Baylor. He's the #1 transfer receiver in the country. He's been battling a deep thigh bruise the past couple of weeks, non-contact jersey. According to reports at practice, does not appear to be 100%, but Hugh Freeze said he's expected to push through, and he will play. In 2 seasons at Georgia Tech, Singleton had nearly 1,500 yards and 9 touchdowns.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas senior linebacker Xavion Sorey has been resting a hamstring. Receiver Raylan Sharp dealing with a foot injury. Both players expected to be available this weekend for the Hogs when they play Alabama A&M. Aside from defensive tackle David Oki, who will miss the game with a knee injury, and wide receiver Ismail Cisse, who will miss the entire season with a wrist injury, Story and Sharp are the only 2 who are injured.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia offensive lineman Ja Jackson, we have an update on his drug charges. He's entered a pretrial diversion program from his July 16th arrest. He was arrested on felony possession of marijuana. If Jackson completes the program, which will include a $1,000 fee in substance abuse counseling, his charges will be dismissed in 1 year. So Kirby Smart said Jackson has been disciplined internally, but is still with the team and is going to play.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
And the Rebs have added Jacksonville State to their 2031 football schedule. Stop traffic. They'll play on August the 30th. JSU will get $1.45 million to come take the L there in Oxford. The game does allow, this is what's interesting, the game does allow, or the contract allows the game to be moved to either 2029 or 2030 if needed. But if they do reschedule, it would trigger an agreement where they would add an additional game to the schedule with the 2 teams. They've met just once, and that's actually when Jacksonville State beat Ole Miss back in the 2010 season in double overtime. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Our Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Had a great convo earlier today with my friend Blazer Yvette from Decision Critical. She's awesome. She means a ton to our family. She was a CV nurse when Drew was a baby, and Decision Critical was born out of COVID, providing concierge nursing services for families that need them. There's so many different services they offer, including therapeutic phlebotomy. Maybe you're a man on hormone therapy, and so you have to give blood. I do. I have to give blood regularly to keep my red blood cell count low. They can come to your home, your office, knock it out quick. They also have IV hydration. So, look, you'll be tailgating next week, maybe plan Friday to get that IV. If you know Saturday's going to be a long day with maybe a few adult beverages, plan next Friday to have one of their nurses come to your home, your office, get that IV. You can schedule it at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, y'all, let me knock out a quick break, final break of hour number 1. We'll come back, put a button on the first hour. The Saints are back on the practice field today, got some injury updates. Eric McLean of the ACC Network, former Clemson Tigers, here in 30 minutes. We got a ton to do. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
You want to feel your best? Let me just look your best. I mean, feel your best internally. Wake up in the morning. Have tons of energy when your feet hit the floor. When you get home at night, you're not wiped out just looking to veg on the couch. You're falling asleep in your favorite chair. I'm talking about waking up with energy to attack the day. I'm talking about energy to get in the gym, and when you're in the gym, to feel good about your workout, to build muscle, to burn fat, to have a great libido. Does that sound like something that would be interesting to you? Like it felt when you were in your 20s? It can happen. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Can help you live the optimal life. It might, and you're probably thinking, man, that sounds expensive, sounds dangerous. No. It's healthy. It's safe. It's affordable. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Try it. Try it. If in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you don't feel great, stop. but you owe it to yourself to feel your best every day. They can help. YourGoodWood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our...
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Yeah, we are like 39 minutes away from college football. This is why are they playing this at 4:30? I know it's at South Florida. They're playing this in Raymond James Stadium, but Boise State at South Florida is a 4:30 Central kickoff, so 5:30 Eastern. But still, I guess they got a doubleheader on ESPN. It's the only thing I can think. But like, it's still because Mizzou's on the SEC Network. What's the night game on ESPN tonight? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, it's Nebraska and Cincinnati, which is being played in Arrowhead.
Yeah,
for some
it's
reason.
like 8 o'clock tip or kick. Tip.
Yes,
8 o'clock kick?
It is 8 o'clock, correct, yeah.
So 8 o'clock kick there. So doubleheader. Still a weird thing. But anyway, so 4:30 Central. So in 38 minutes, Boise State and South Florida will kick off. Boise's a 5.5-point favorite. By the way, Jimmy does have Otter Locks posted already at LouisianaSports.net. So for all the college football games, including a play on the Boise-South Florida game, which starts in 38 minutes, if you want to get in there, he's got 4 college football plays that are already live at LouisianaSports.net. I'll tell you also, we will have Lee Sterling with us next hour. Phil Steele returns on Friday. And then, of course, Jimmy out getting back into the flow of football if you're a sports bettor. Jimmy on Friday has all of his handicappers that come on his show. And so we will have the full list of the best bets from all of Jimmy's handicappers as well. You can play it however you want. I always look for I always look for agreement. If there's sort of consensus agreement among the sharps and the professional bettors, that's kind of what I look for to play. But you do you. No endorsement here, except for DraftKings. We're a great DraftKings partner. We love DraftKings. We're appreciative. So college football weekend gets started. You'll have 5 straight days of football. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It starts here in about 37 minutes with South Florida and Boise State. Boise, of course, a G5 representative a year ago. And it'll be fascinating to see which G5 team is going to steal a bid it doesn't deserve to be in a playoff it shouldn't be in. But Boise gets a chance to come out the gate strong there today here in about 38 minutes from right now. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Remember, by the way, one other thing to consider, next Saturday, of course, is a home game, and maybe you're someone who's taking care of your elderly parent. Maybe you can't, or you feel guilty about leaving. Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, maybe 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever you need. Their nurses can come care for, sit with your elderly parent, or maybe if you have a special needs child or an infant. If you want to sleep at night, when you're postpartum, you're just home from the hospital with a baby, and you want to sleep at night. Their professional nurses can come stay with you. There's so many services that they offer. It's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. I'll tell you, Jimmy's got South Florida plus 5.5 in that game. The fascinating thing, obviously, is, look, Ashton Jeanty a year ago had an outstanding season. He was a Heisman finalist, a first-round draft pick. And now you remove Jeanty, who was a next-level player playing at a lower classification where he dominated. So you take Jeanty away from BYU. How does that look? We'll get a sense of that here shortly. But you get a ranked football team playing in a college football game at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday, which is going to start a football binge for all of us for the next 5 days, and I could be more fired up for it. So, Jimmy, I'll give you the giveaway there. He likes South Florida with the points, with 5.5, but if you want all the picks, they're there at LouisianaSports.net. Okay. SportsCenter's coming up. We're going to get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, Kellen Moore met with the Saints after practice. We'll talk about that next.
AFR.
Get your reservations for September the 9th at Supper Club. Remember, it's Dine with 9 benefiting the Joe Burrow Foundation. Now, Joe Burrow's not going to be there. He's going to be playing in the NFL. But in conjunction with the Joe Burrow Foundation on September 9th, 9-9, Joe Burrow's number 9, on September the 9th, 9-9, Supper Club is donating 9% of its sales to the Joe Burrow Foundation. What an awesome thing to do, and certainly a worthy cause. So if you've been if you've never been to Supper Club, waiting for a reason to get by, let September the 9th be the reason that gets you there or gets you back into Supper Club. You get your reservation at supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. And remember, you never need a reservation. Maybe you just want to pop in after work, have a cocktail and dinner at the bar to support the cause. You could always do that without a reservation. Open seating at the bar at Supper Club. But get your reservations at supperclubbtr.com. That's Supper Club.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Perhaps Micah Parsons' trade request could get granted after all. According to ESPN, several teams have spoken to the Cowboys about a potential trade for the star edge rusher, and for the first time, the Cowboys appear to be willing to at least listen. So what might Dallas want in a package for Parsons? ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano weighs in.
I think you're talking about multiple very high picks, multiple first-round picks, and probably at least one defensive front seven player who's probably young and maybe on a rookie contract that can help replace Micah Parsons. The team that would be able to give all that and give Micah Parsons the contract he wants and fit them under their salary cap, all with a week to go before the season.
Packers quarterback Jordan Love, still wearing a brace on his surgically repaired thumb, doesn't believe it'll limit what he can do once the regular season starts. Baseball, Red Sox defeated the Orioles 3-2, so Boston moves within 3.5 of AL East, leading Toronto, holds the top AL wildcard spot. Astros got by the Rockies 4-3. Houston now leads the AL West by 2 on Seattle. MLB leading Brewers trailed the D-backs 6-4, bottom 9.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, we're getting you set for week 1 of the college football season. Will Ohio State go back-to-back, or will a team like Texas put a stop to it? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Eric McLean, ACC Network, former Clemson Tiger, 13 minutes from right now. In 1 hour, our buddy Christian LaCouture will be here with Chad Jasmin. So, Big Lack, of course, played at LSU. Chad Jasmin played at Clemson. He's from St. James. They both work together at Mockler. They're beer men. And both their teams are playing against each other Saturday at Clemson. So we'll let them fight in here. Two big dudes that were former college football players. They're going to come in here and just fight each other. Live on radio and TV. I'm fired up for it. It'll probably be civil, but excited for that convo in 1 hour. Mike Triplett next hour as well. We'll talk to Mike about Saints offseason. Saints were back on the practice field, their final sort of bonus practice here of the week. No NFL games this weekend. They'll get into full game week next week, so they practice twice here this week in the bonus week, but most teams use it as an opportunity to get out, a couple of light practices, stretch your legs, get some guys healed, coming out of the preseason with your 53-man roster now set and heading into the NFL next week. Of note for the New Orleans Saints, there were a couple of key absences and remain to be a couple of key absences for LSU, for the New Orleans Saints, forgive me. There were two players that were missing of note still. Trevor Penning and Alontae Taylor continue to be missing from Thursday practice. Kellen Moore did update both of them after. Here's Kellen Moore on Trevor Penning.
Yeah, we got a few days off this weekend, and then we'll kind of see what the timelines present themselves for these guys. But he's done an awesome job. He's out of the boot now, and so that's really cool to see. And so we'll just see how these timelines play out leading up to week 1.
Okay, so waiting on Penning, but out of the boot, trending the right way. Certainly seems like that was always the timeline that he would be ready for week 1. And Alontae Taylor, here was the very, very quick update on Alontae Taylor.
Yeah, he's just continuing to go through the rehab process. So, he's doing a nice job. Feel like he's right where he needs to be.
Okay, so dealing with a soft tissue injury, talking about a groin injury for a defensive back. Clearly, that's not great. Guys that have to turn, flip their hips, and run. But, guys played, get them healthy. There'll be an injury report next week, and we'll get a deeper dive into how they're doing. One more from Kellen Moore. Now that they've named a starter and they're out of camp, he did say his role within practice and development is all going to change now that they've set their 53 and established a starter.
For myself, I'll probably spend a lot more time with the quarterbacks next week than I have all of training camp, which will be fun just because, it's just a different timeline, different obligation a little bit once you get into the season. And so, you're just continuing to have those conversations, why we're putting something in, what's the objective, we'll practice it, we'll walk it through, we'll talk it. Ultimately, I'm a firm believer guys that have confidence in certain plays, they're going to make those plays work. And so, we got to build that all week.
So the Saints, we'll talk to Mike Triplett next hour. The Saints have a little bit of a light week. They'll have the weekend to get healthy, fresh, and ready to roll when they start practice for Arizona next week. While Kellen Moore was meeting with reporters, one of the conversations was about, obviously adding Devon Vele, a big 6'4" receiver, which was needed. It's something we've talked about all offseason, where New Orleans has Chris Olave and Brandon Cooks, Rashid Shaheed, all under 6 feet tall. They lacked a big-bodied receiver, something that many of us thought they would address in the NFL draft. They didn't. They didn't in free agency. Instead, signed Brandon Cooks, another small receiver. And only when they got right before their third preseason game did they realize, we should probably have a big receiver. That'd probably be good to have on this team. So they traded 2 draft picks for Devon Vele from Denver. And Kellen Moore talked about the advantage to having that bigger wide receiver.
Big body. It's the same reason we talk about tight ends and being, a quarterback's best friend. There's big guys, there's catch radius, there's a little bit of a ability to play with your body and box people out in contested catch situations. And so, those guys show up a little bit more in the middle of the field. And so I think a lot of it has to do with the same reason we talk about tight ends, in the middle of the field. And so, we've been around a few. Remember Keenan in L.A., he was a bigger body guy, did a great job in the slot. And Bailey's certainly done a lot of that when we looked at the Denver film.
Okay. So he wanted a big-bodied receiver. Clearly wanted a big-body receiver. Had one in Keenan Allen. The trade for Devon Vele. Obviously needed a big-bodied receiver. Cool. Should I remind you that you had a big-bodied receiver that was really productive for you for half the year last year? What was his name? Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That was it. That's right. Remember last year, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he was with Buffalo and didn't really make an impact, was just sitting on his couch. And the Saints signed him when they had all the receiver injuries last year. And I'll be damned, he came to New Orleans, played really well, didn't he? I mean, in 8 games, he had 17 catches for 385 yards and 4 touchdowns. Deep threat. It's really good for New Orleans. averaged 22.6 yards per reception. Is that good? 22.6?
That is good. Yes, confirmed.
Okay. In the NFL too. You're not Jamar Chase playing against high school kids.
Right.
This is an NFL receiver. A 30-year-old NFL receiver who averaged 22.6 yards per reception last year. You had him on your team.
You did.
He's also 6'4". Muse, how big is Devon Vele again? I don't have it in front of me. Do you have that?
6'4".
Got it. So you had a guy on your roster that was 6'4", who's really productive for you, and you let him go. Didn't sign him in free agency. Instead, you signed Brandon Cooks in free agency, who is smaller.
Yeah, like 5'11".
Yeah. Pro Football Reference says he's 5'10".
Ah, well, yeah. Trying to help you out there, Brandon.
And so you pay more money for Brandon Cooks, and then ultimately have to trade for Devon Vele to get the big-bodied receiver because you didn't draft one, and you didn't keep the one you had, and you didn't sign one in free agency. Got it. Somebody want to remind me why Mickey Loomis still has a job? There he goes again, man. Always crapping on Mickey Loomis. Because he's awful at his job. How many more times, how many more examples do you want? How many more do I need to give you? Let me spell this out very plainly. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is 30 years old. Brandon Cooks is 31 years old. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is 6'4". Brandon Cooks is 5'10". Last year, Marquez Valdez-Scantling played 8 games for New Orleans, 385 yards and 4 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks played 10 games for Dallas, 259 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Cooks, in 2 more games, had 120 fewer yards and 1 fewer touchdown. So Brandon Cooks is older, smaller, and less productive. But it has to make sense financially, right? That has to be the reason. No. You see, Marquez Valdez-Scantling signed with Seattle on a 1-year, $4 million deal, and the Saints gave Brandon Cooks 2 years, $13 million. So if you're scoring at home, the New Orleans Saints didn't re-sign Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They signed Brandon Cooks, who's smaller, older, less productive, and more expensive. Oh, and by the way, when you get to your 3rd preseason game and realize, we probably need a big receiver. We let the big guy who was awesome for us last year, we let him leave. We didn't draft one, and then we didn't sign any in free agency. We probably need a big receiver. What about the big kid from Denver, the former 7th-round pick? Hey, call Sean. See if Sean's got anybody. Yeah, Mick, this guy's the next Marcus Colston. You should give me 2 draft picks for him. Okay. Fleeced again, man. I mean, does this make sense? I'm not just crapping on Mickey Loomis because I find it a fun pastime. I mean, it is kind of a fun pastime. But I'm just illustrating how bad he is at his job, very clearly. And I don't know that he was ever good. The more this, I'll say it again, the more the sample size grows, the more apparent it was that everything good in New Orleans was Sean Payton, Drew Brees, and Mickey Loomis was just riding sidecar. He just happened to be around there, cashing a check. Those guys leave, and this thing has gone to hell. You have the worst roster in the NFL. You're expected to have your worst season in 20 years since the Katrina season. And you continue to give up future assets to supplement a team that's not going to be good anyway. You got the worst GM in football. Maybe the worst GM in sports. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take for Grandma Gail to move him out. Maybe she never will. But I'm pretty confident in saying as long as he's in that spot making the calls, you're going to continue to see this, and you're not going to be a roster that can compete for anything of significance. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters as well. Tell you all the time. Oh, you can go get a bunch of estimates. You want to call 5 different roofing companies, 6, 7, call 10. If you're just shopping price, make sure Relief Windows is not one of them because they will not be the cheapest. I promise you that. They will not be the cheapest. But you want a true lifetime warranty from a company that's been around for more than 2 decades, that's proven over and over again they will make good on their lifetime warranty? You want the best quality products, the best service, the best people. You want Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, y'all. It's after further review. We're going to knock out a quick break. Eric Lain from the ACC Network, former Clemson Tiger. He's going to join us next. We'll preview Clemson when we come back on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge.
AFR.
Buckbusters. Got it at Clegg's. Mo Bucks. Got it at Clegg's. Rice Bran. Got it at Clegg's. Deer Corn. Got it at Clegg's. You a deer hunter getting ready for deer season? You need to fill those plots, those feeders ready to go to bring Bambi on, start luring Bambi in for whenever the lawmakers say, yep, hunting time, season's open. Boom! Echoing throughout the vast cavernous woods of Louisiana. Was that a little too dramatic? Maybe a little too dramatic. Look, the bottom line is you need to fill all your deer feeders and all that stuff that all you hunters do. They got all that stuff at Clegg, so get by there. Any of the 4 locations. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, but they got so much more, y'all. You want to get your fall bedding plants in the ground, beautiful fall flowers. You want to add that pop of color, they can do it. Your fall vegetable garden, it's time to plant it. They can help you. Buy local, shop local. Clegg's Nursery.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com. Tigers are on the hunt. Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Eric Lain, former Clemson Tiger, now the ACC Network, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Thanks for the time as always, man. How are you? All right, we'll see if we can get Eric. I don't know what's going on with the phone there. Looking forward to previewing LSU and Clemson with Eric, of course, former Clemson Tiger. He was team captain there with Clemson under Dabo as well, so we'll get some great perspective on the Clemson Tigers. All right, we got him now. Eric, appreciate the time. How are you?
Man, I'm living the dream, brother. Excited to talk with you. What a massive matchup between two just really good programs. Cannot wait to see it. I'm actually on my way to Tiger Town right now. We're doing a little TV from Clemson, South Carolina.
Where does this one rank as far as all-time big game season openers for Clemson?
Yeah, it's up there, man. You know, I think back to my playing days when we opened against Georgia in the Valley. You know, that was one of the greatest games I've ever been a part of. You talk about 300,000 people in the city of Clemson. We only let, 84,000 in. I don't know what the other, 210 did. I don't know what they were doing all night, but it was fun, man. And this is another massive one. And you just look at the implications. You look at the landscape of college football, two power programs, two amazing quarterbacks in a year where there's a lot of uncertainty because some or a lot of these teams do not have a returning starter. You just hope that it's a really great show and both these teams put their best foot forward.
Eric, we've talked a lot here for the last half decade about LSU losing season openers. Clemson's lost the last two. I know Cade Clubnik was asked about it. What, if anything, do you make of that?
I think when you schedule difficult opponents, that's just part of the risk and reward, right? Like, when you don't open against an FCS team and you're opening against, one of the top 10 best teams in the country year in and year out, it kind of comes with the territory. Now, in Clemson's instance, these last couple of years to Georgia, they've had a first-year starting quarterback for, a majority of the time and going against the Georgia Bulldog team that was really good. And, I think on LSU's side, it's something that people want to pick at. It's something people want to talk about. Both teams obviously are very hungry for a big-time win. And the good news is one of us is going to get it.
Eric Lain joins us, former Clemson Tiger. You'll get him on Twitter at Eric Lain, MacLain. He's part of the ACC Network. Hey, Eric, I want to talk about something near and dear to your heart, of course, with offensive line play, and it's just a giant conversation in this game. LSU's got 5 new guys. Clemson maybe has an injury at right guard. They're still maybe rotating a little bit at left guard. Focus in on that Clemson unit, which I tallied it up, with the 5 guys that we're expected to see have played 169 career games. Give me your assessment of that unit we're expecting to see Saturday night.
Yeah, it's an experienced one, man. You just kind of mentioned it there. You look at the 2 tackle positions. We'll start with the right tackle and Blake Miller, literally a guy that started since he got to campus. I mean, he's been that good, that physically ready, and he's only gotten better every year. He's a guy that's going to play into the first or second round, based on what he does this year and how much can he climb. The other tackle position, Tristan Lain, former 5-star guy coming out of Virginia, really had to work. He wasn't ready to play when he got to Clemson. He didn't get to play his senior year because of COVID in Virginia, and he came in really behind. But, man, he's just grinded. And now for 2.5 years has been the guy, and he looks to be the strongest he's been, the best shape he's been, and really a mainstay in regards to leadership on this offensive line. And then, as you mentioned, the guards, Walker Parks, will he play? Will he not? It's probably going to be a game-time decision. But, Clemson has 2 guys in Harris Sewell, who's ready, a Texas guy who, has come in and has played a lot. And then Colin Sadler, who he can play all 5 positions. He's a guy that's cross-trained a ton. He kind of was the 5th or 6th guy kind of rotating back between Harris. And now if he has to play for the entire game, Clemson feels more than ready there. And then you have Elijah Thurman as well, that Clemson feels like he's a starter caliber. He played left tackle, a couple of games last year when Tristan went down. Clemson really excited when he takes over. If he has to play guard, he's more than ready. to take that on. And then at center, Ryan Linthicum, mainstay. I think he's a 3-4 year starter, a guy that very comfortable with Cade Clubnik. Cade Clubnik very comfortable with him. And just that energy and synergy that you see from those two is going to be important, especially against a defense like LSU's.
We know Adam Randall's moving from receiver to running back, replacing Phil Maffa. No easy task there. Was a 1,000-yard rusher. What's a realistic expectation for Adam Randall taking over at running back?
Yeah, man, I think, it's going to be fun for the country to see this. I've had the privilege to, obviously see them in playoff prep and then in the spring and then now camp. And every single time I saw Adam at those different windows of time, he looked like a different player. I mean, he's just really attacked that transition to position with, full steam ahead. And I think a big-time heart about it. And that's tough to do, right, when you transition, especially that late in your career. But, Coach Dabo Swinney kind of sat him down after the ACC championship and kind of said, because the transfer portal window's about to happen. He thinks a guy like Adam, who, because of the stars that Clemson has at the wide receiver position, maybe look elsewhere and might try to get an opportunity to play more somewhere else. And so he sat him down and said, what do you do best as a football player? And Adam just kind of said, when the ball's in my hand. And Coach Swinney said, I agree. I think we should try you running back. He's 6'3". He's now 240 pounds. Like, this guy was eating salad every day, trying to maintain that body and stay fit and lean for wide receiver. And I think the last piece is just what you can only do when you're in a game, and that's physicality. That's running through the tackles. He's got the size. I think he has the mentality. I'm excited to see how he can translate and really be a mainstay for the Tigers in the backfield.
Eric, my biggest question about Clemson is, and it's an odd one because it's a position where they got a ton of talent at defensive line. And it's because a year ago in their 4 losses, they allowed an average of more than 200 rush yards in those losses. I mean, everyone at Clemson knows this, right? This was a major talking point. There's been a change at defensive coordinator with Tom Allen coming in, but I guess the way I'd ask it to you, a guy who played on the other side of the line of scrimmage and knows what you're looking at, how can a team with so much talent in that front seven struggle so much at times against the run?
Yeah, and it's a very fair question. I think it's a great point, and just why is there so much optimism of a defense that was relatively subpar, not to the standard at all that Clemson expects to play at. You look at when we were winning championships and competing at the highest level, we had elite defenses, and they did not have that at any form or fashion last year. And so how are we so excited? Why are we so confident? I think there is 2 things. A, as you mentioned, Tom Allen coming in. It has been a world of difference from energy, passion, scheme, coaching, just abilities for him to get the message through. He's a pro at that. I mean, he's literally a head coach only in charge of the defense now. And that's a big deal. And, he's going to be calling it from the booth. He's going to be doing his thing up there, just allowing him to be a mad scientist. And then the other piece of that puzzle is a guy like Peter Woods is now inside. He was out of position last year. He was asked to play defensive end because Clemson was so thin at the position. They needed him to step up. Well, now you've got the number 1 defensive tackle in the entire, NFL preview, NFL draft coming up, back in his position, back at 3 technique. And, oh, by the way, you added a 6'6", 270-pound, defensive end from Purdue and Will Held that people are ecstatic about. I think, everyone else is getting a ton of the love and excitement. Will Held is going to show out and show up all year long.
What about at the second and third levels of the defense? Where would you say is maybe the perceived strength and or weakness defensively at linebacker and in the secondary?
Yeah, I can't give you any weaknesses, dog. We play in a couple hours, man. We're playing in a couple of days. I can't be telling you all the secrets.
Don't worry, Eric. I'm not suiting up, dog. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think linebacker's going to be really strong. You look at Sammy Brown, Wade Woodaz, Jeremiah Alexander coming over from Alabama. It is a loaded unit that can run, that is physical, that loves to hit, and really good instinctual plays from that group. I think Sammy Brown has a chance to be a consensus All-American. That guy, if you built a linebacker in a lab with awareness, speed, strength, physicality, that's it. And this guy's going to really, I think, surprise surprise a lot of people, excite a lot of people with the way he plays. And then a guy like Wade Woodaz, just really rangy, very dynamic, plays safety. You know, his first year, Clemson kind of rotated to a 3-safety look, and he was just running all over the board there. At the cornerback position, you got Avion Terrell, who's perceived as a top 15 pick. You got Ashton Hampton, who's a true sophomore who will eventually be a top 15, top 10 pick. I think you're good there. Maybe depth is a little concern. If you know, anything happens to those two guys, there's a little bit of inexperience and some injuries behind them, as you guys can hear my daughter.
I love it so much, dude. Dude, we have all been there before.
She's body training. It's part of it.
I love it, dude. That's so good, man. We have who among us has not been in the radio interview with our children not giving a rip about whoever might be on the other line. I love that so much, dude. That's just real life, man. You're good, man. You're good.
Safety, yeah, I appreciate it. Safety is the position where they've got to turn up, and you know, not that I'm concerned because they've got some great athletes, and I think Khalil Barnes is a really good player, but there was some inconsistent play there last year, and that gave up some big plays. So when you're playing against a passing offense that was one of the best in the country and a quarterback who, you know, I think is the second best in the country, and Garrett Nussmeier, you're a little bit on alert there. You know, if he's going to have time to throw the ball, those guys have to be in position.
I got two more for you. One, special teams. What's the overview there for Clemson in the third phase?
I pray to God it does not come down to special teams, because if that's the case, we are in trouble. You know, Clemson, you know, Dabo Swinney just said the other day, he's praying and he's making a decision off punter, maybe on game day. So if flipping the field is going to be an issue, that's a really big deal, and that's going to be a problem, you know, for Clemson. We'll see. Maybe they surprise us. Maybe it's all smokescreen. So we'll see there. Field goal kicker, you know, it seems like they shored up that field goal unit where they're going to block better. They've got better guys on there. But when they needed it most, I mean, this guy hit a 60-yard game winner to send Clemson to the college football playoff. So I think they're okay in the kicking game. Punting game, we'll see.
All right, last thing for you. Time very much appreciated. Appreciate you hanging in there with us, Eric. Blueprint. What's Dabo's blueprint to get a win Saturday?
You know, I think it's protect Cade Clubnik, allow him to be an X factor with his legs, push the ball downfield, and then you've got to hit Nuss. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to make sure that he doesn't have time to sit back there and dissect this defense. Because, again, I think he's the second-best quarterback in the country. I think Cade Klubnik's the first. I give him the lean because of the mobility with his legs, the thing that we, you know, have seen him to do, kind of touchdown to interception ratio. And if he's able to expound on that, man, it's going to be a fun year for both Tigers, honestly.
He is Eric McLean of the ACC Network, former Clemson Tiger. You can get him on Twitter at Eric McLean, MacLain. We appreciate it, man. Good luck with potty training, man. Hope it goes awesome.
Hey, we're doing it. I appreciate your time, brother. It's going to be a fun game Saturday night. Cannot wait, man. It's going to be awesome.
Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you, man.
See you, brother.
Be well. That's Eric McLean, former Clemson Tiger. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Hey, Rouse's all season long, helping you cover the spread. As a matter of fact, our guys, Hester and Flynn, are going to be at Rouse's on Burbank every Friday for their show off the bench during football season. So, man, you wake up on Friday morning, tomorrow you're feeling the vibes, pop on into Rouse's on Burbank and Lee and go see Hester and Flynn. They'll be there from 7 to 10 a.m. for their show every Friday during football season. So get on by and see the guys Friday morning. And pick up everything you need. If you're not making the trip to Clemson, you're going to be watching the game, having a game watch party at your house. Maybe you're hanging out by yourself. You want to throw some meat on the grill. Maybe you want beers, wines, any bourbons. They got it all. Great selection. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, and helping you cover the spread on your football Saturdays, Sundays, or any days all throughout the football season. Rouse's. This feels like home. I appreciate Eric McLean for a couple of minutes there. Interesting. I guess the most interesting thing there was the comments about special teams, saying if it comes down to special teams, you don't feel good about it. He's right. I mean, they did nail a field goal to send them into the playoff last year, a 60-yarder, just under 60 yards. But that's a spot that's been a bugaboo for LSU that they invested heavily in the portal. You know, obviously, you want to add Grant Chadwick at punter. You got Damian Ramos back as your fourth-year place kicker. And to add guys like Berrien Brown, Xavier Thomas a year ago, Aaron Anderson, that's 3 transfers right there that all should factor in significantly in the return game. So for the first time maybe in the Brian Kelly era, I feel good. Like, not just we'll wait and see. Like, I feel really good about LSU special teams. It hasn't been the case, but that's certainly something to watch in the third phase that we don't talk enough about, but could be something that swings a close game. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
I love telling you about Glow Resources because I love telling you about great people with great businesses that help other people in businesses. That's Glow Resources. You know, if you start a business thinking, how do I solve a problem for somebody? Generally, if you answer that question, you're going to be a pretty successful business, and that's the case Glow Resources. In the Baton Rouge Business Report's top 100 private companies in Baton Rouge for this past year, Glow Resources, Jareth Knockan and his team have grown a giant business, which is so fun to watch. But you understand what they do. You understand that when it comes to running a business, we need people. You need the right people in the right seats on the bus to make your business efficient and profitable. Well, a lot of people struggle with hiring. It's just a fact. It's just a fact of business. So Glow Resources, their job is to find you the right people. They're not a temp staffing agency. They're here to find you a permanent solution. So check them out today, glowresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item. We prominently feature it in social media, on our website.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All I'm glad you're rolling along with us here. Kristen LaCouture and Chad Jasmin, a former LSU Tiger, former Clemson Tiger, now both working with Mockler Beverage, our friends at Bud Light. They're going to be in studio with us in 22 minutes, talk a little about the game. We're excited about it. Mike Triplett will be here next hour as well. Old Coach Prime was doing an interview, and he has actually what I think is a pretty good idea. Deion Sanders wants to see the players who reach the playoff get an NFL-style playoff bonus and then payment the more a team wins. He said, quote, now it's equality. Now it's even an everyday player is making the same amount of money. Nick Saban, by the way, said that he actually supports that as well. Saban said this, quote, they were speaking, he and Saban were speaking on the set of an Aflac commercial where I guess they had some media availability as well. But Coach Prime said that he's healthy coming off the bladder cancer diagnosis and healing, but this is something that Deion wants to see is players who make the tournament getting paid, and then the more their teams win, they get paid, similar to what happens in the NFL. You make the playoffs, you get a playoff bonus, and the more you win, you keep getting paid more and more. Y'all know where I stand on this, and I am admittedly, I am an extremist. Like I know most people don't agree with me. I see overwhelmingly people who bitch that NIL is ruining college sports. Yet those same people who complain, you know what they're going to be doing Saturday? They're going to be sitting their ass right on their couch, binging on games all day long. Ain't nothing getting ruined. We got more games, more TV windows, higher viewership, more revenue, more spots, more everything. Nothing's been ruined. You need to get out your feelings and realize we've always had haves and have-nots in college sports. It's just where the resources are being funneled have been redirected. That's what's changed. It's gone from, hey, let's build a football ops building with a waterfall and a barbershop in it, to let's funnel that money into a transfer quarterback. And you may not like that. I don't really care. That's what it is. It's not changing. And you had opportunities over the past, 4 or 5 decades as college athletics began scaling its revenue and everybody got rich except the players. So blame the adults. Blame the adults for screwing it up for decades. It ain't changing. Yeah, you have a $1 billion annual television contract for the college football playoff. Absolutely, you should share in that revenue with the players. Yes, you should. They should get bonuses for playing in those games. You know what else that will solve? It will solve potentially guys who are entering the transfer portal in that December portal window because they're and leaving their team. Didn't this happen last year with Bo Prabula from Penn State? Bo Prabula was the backup quarterback at Penn State. And he entered he's now at Missouri, but he entered the transfer portal and didn't go through the playoff with Penn State because he had to enter the December portal window. Well, what if he could get bonuses staying for the playoff? Okay, and then maybe you enter the spring portal window. I get it. Means you don't get to go through spring football with your new team. It's a risk you take. Worked out okay for Joe Burrow. He didn't go through spring at LSU. We'll see. The kid, Steve Angeli from Notre Dame, who just won the job at Syracuse. He didn't go through spring at Syracuse. He won the job. I mean, there's ways, but that's one idea. It's outside the box. Imagine that from Coach Prime. But there's ways to make it make sense, to make it beneficial for guys to stay. Coach Prime also was asked about, being at Boulder and the student tradition that surprised him the most.
Is there anything about Folsom, about this stadium that surprised you, that you didn't expect?
Yeah. The smell of weed in the second quarter it surprised the heck out of me. Like every game, I'm like, dang, like it seems like it's like a light up quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, so is this the quarter that y'all chose? Like, I'm serious, it's a TV timeout, it never fails, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? Because I've never been high a day of my life, so that's kind of new to me.
That sound you hear is Muse putting in his transfer request to ESPN Boulder.
I don't hear anything.
Of course you don't, Muse. You're just out there in space. Your own little existence, Puff.
I'm right here. I'm producing the show.
I thought Puff was the name of their magic dragon. Oh, you thought Puff was the name of the magic dragon?
I bet you did, Panama Red.
So you transferring to Boulder?
No.
Okay. Muse loves the second quarter at Folsom Field. It's AFR. We'll knock out a quick break. Wrap up out. Oh, we got Lee Sterling next. We got to go. Stay here.
After further review.
Get Gordon, get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident, not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon, get it done, and get your billboards designed now. The Get Gordon Billboard Design Competition is going on. You can win up to $2,000 in prizes. They'll also make a donation to a charity of your choice. And, of course, you can see your billboard all over town. So get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com/billboards. Getgordon.com/billboards. One more time, getgordon.com/billboards. And on any of their social medias, you can see it as well. Just go to @GetGordon, @GetGordon. You can learn more about the members of the G team, all the different NIL deals Gordon's done, the great ways he gives back to the community, and most importantly, the way he helps injured people get what they deserve. So go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Oh, it feels so good to have a full slate of games. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. He's here. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to go to my first Miami game in 3 years. And how do you turn down this invite? In the 72 Club. You ever seen where they show the Hard Rock with the padded seats?
Sure.
And the TVs? Yeah. So my high school coach, his son made it big. We will pull up and park in the black parking. We walk like 30 yards from our car to the gate and get in and have a brunch, a dinner, and then settle in for the game.
Well, it's a game I want to start with. Notre Dame, Miami, the old Catholics versus convicts reunited. Notre Dame's a 2.5-point favorite. How do you see it?
So the weather could be a factor. You need to check that. There's possible rain for 24 to 48 hours forecasted here in Miami. Could make it more of a running game. So you might want to look to the under. Unders are like at 51.5 right now. But Miami's going to be different. On offense, not as dynamic. You lose Cam Ward. But Carson Beck was pretty well thought of. In fact, some people thought he'd be the first pick in the draft going into last year. Didn't work out that way. His receiving core was not very good. Offensive line, not the same. Now he'll have a very good offensive line, but some young receivers, and they're going to rely on the running game with a bevy of 3 different running backs. So I think he's healthy from what I've seen when I watched him. He looks like he's 100%. The defense, which was not good at all last year down the stretch, they bring in Corey Heatherman from Minnesota, and that might be Mario Cristobal's best signing. And, he did a lot with a very group of mediocre talented kids at Minnesota, made them a top 20 unit. I think the Irish are going to end up being very good, but let's look at what happened to them last year. They lose to Northern Illinois, and I think all the pressure was off at that point, and people weren't looking at them, and then they get into the college football playoff, and they had a great draw. They get to play the right side where Oregon was number 1, had to face Ohio State. So I think they're good, but do I think they're great? No, and I think their quarterback, C.J. Carr, might be good, but it might take him 2 or 3 games. You don't want to open up at Miami. Now, it's usually 25, 30,000 empty seats at the game, but not for this game. And Miami, when it's full, it's one of the top 5, top 6 places, I think, to play in. So I like Miami. I think the wrong team's favorite here. Miami gets them early. 23-20.
All right, Lee Sterling, go with by the way, the total on the game is already down to 49.5, so a lot of people thinking the way that you are. Hey, let's jump to Saturday's early game that everyone, of course, is going gaga over, a 1 versus 2 matchup with Texas at Ohio State. A lot of new with both of these teams, Lee, but a lot of talent. Ohio State, a short number at home at 2-point favorite.
So I thought Texas was not quite as talented as Ohio State last year, but now Ohio State's lost 7 of their top 9 tacklers from last year. So they've got to replace those guys. And, I mean, Texas was right there. Even after they had lost their best receiver during the game last year, they're at the 1-yard line, less than 4 minutes to go. Why they went into the shotgun and try to toss sweep, I will never know, but that was the beginning of the end, and we remember then the fumble, Quinn Ewers gets sacked, and Jack Sawyer takes it to the house. So it was game, set, match at that point. I believe when you look at each unit, I think Texas, except for the wide receiver position, might be stronger than Ohio State. Now, I know the game's in the horseshoe, but I just think that Arch Manning and both coordinators coming back and that continuity, and Ohio State going with 2 new coordinators and a quarterback, Julian Sain, and from the reports has not looked great in fall camp. I think another wrong team favorite, Texas, 26-21.
By the way, Lee, I'm looking at DraftKings right now. Texas money coming in. That's down to a 0.5 point. It's almost to a pick right now. Lee Sterling's with us, ParamountSports.com. I got to get your thoughts on Alabama as a 13.5-point favorite. True road game there at Florida State. Man, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback for the Tide, a lot of talent, awful Florida State team a year ago. The cakewalk for Bama that many think it will be?
Well, I think Florida State will be better, but, I mean, how much worse can they be? They weren't even competitive last year. So when they ended up bringing in BC transfer Thomas Castellanos, I was like scratching my head. I'm like, what did they see? Well, I went back, and you remember he had his best game of the season against Florida State when Boston College knocked off Florida State. So that was the only game that he led Boston College to more than 23 points. So I think that they're up against it, Florida State. If they fall behind by double digits, I mean, he is not a drop-back passer. He makes things happen, on the run, and he's a pretty good leader. He's fiery. But, I mean, you don't want to talk smack in the offseason. I mean, it's not like he's done that much at the college level. I was a little surprised.
What
and
was
I
he doing, man?
Didn't you ask yourself, what is he doing?
Yes. What? What are you doing? Shut up, kid.
Right. So I like the move that Bama did of bringing in offensive coordinator Brian Grubb, who used to be with Kalen DeBoer when he was at Washington. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's a great match, and I think Alabama's a little underrated because they lost 4 games last year in the way they looked against Michigan. A lot of the public will always play against teams based on what they saw last, and I think Bama's probably going to be fighting one of the top 3 teams for the SEC crown, and I think they're going to get into the playoffs. So I think get on them early here, blowout city, roll Tide, Alabama 38-20.
You can't say that here. All right, I have just over 70 seconds. I want to make sure we mention Paramount Sports. I need a pick on LSU-Clemson as well.
Yep. So I think that where LSU is lacking is in the offensive and defensive lines. I think they'll be fine. But you lose 4 offensive linemen to the draft and 4 starting defensive linemen. Clemson returns 3 defensive linemen who I think are going to go in the first or second round in the draft here. Losing 5 straight opening games, I mean, that's just happens. I mean, they play tough teams here, but 4-8 against the spread on the road. Clemson's a tough out at home where they've won 63 of 68 straight up. Clemson 37-27.
Ooh, high-scoring game. That would be over as well. Okay, ParamountSports.com. It's time, Lee. Tell them about it.
Just go to the website, ParamountSports.com. 5 weeks. We call it September to Remember. Just $4.97 with the coupon code SAVE100. Also, we do player props now. Get 3 to 5 on Saturday, 3 to 6 on Sunday. Just $5.97 for the season. All in one place, ParamountSports.com.
Promo code SAVE100. We'll do it again next week. Thanks, Lee.
Sounds good. See you, buddy.
All right, Sports Center coming up. Gotta go, kid.
AFR.
Couple of former Tigers in studio next. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Williamson, EYE.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson, his staff, they do awesome work. Dr. Blake Williamson, we're coming up. I got it. What year did I have? It was September the 11th. I had my LASIK. Are we on 7 or 8 years now that I've had my LASIK? It's been a hot minute now, but you hear people say it all the time. Best money I ever spent. Wish I had done it sooner. I'm right there in that camp as well with the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake was awesome. I got my LASIK done. Was at work the next day. It was such a non-thing. Now, your eyes will be scratchy for the night. You take a couple Benadryl, you take a nap, you wake up and you feel great, and it just keeps getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And here I am almost a decade later and still seeing better than 20/20. You want to ditch the contacts and glasses forever? They can help. It's the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking NFL news. First Luka, now Micah. About 6 months after the NBA's Dallas Mavericks shockingly traded 26-year-old star Luka Doncic to the Lakers, the NFL's Dallas Cowboys shockingly traded their own 26-year-old star, sending edge rusher Micah Parsons to the Packers, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Parsons and Green Bay have already agreed on a 4-year, $188 million contract, $136 million in total guarantees, makes him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano on what Dallas gets back in the trade.
They get 2 first-round picks and a defensive lineman, a veteran defensive lineman, Kenny Clark, back in the deal. Pretty good return. Kenny Clark's not Micah Parsons, and the odds are neither one of those first-round picks will be either. But considering they had decided the relationship was over, that's not a bad return on it.
Dan Graziano on Freddie and Harry, and guess who the Cowboys host in Week 4 on Sunday Night Football? The Packers. Tennessee men's basketball coach Rick Barnes has signed a lifetime contract. Afternoon baseball, Red Sox defeated the Orioles 3-2.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Used to. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. We are 2 days away from LSU-Clemson in caffeine-free Diet Death Valley, and I can't wait to watch this football game. And so what a good opportunity to bring in a couple of friends with an interesting tie to this game. You all know Christian LaCouture, former Tiger great defensive lineman, wearer of the number 18, coached on the 2019 National Championship team, and Chad Jasmin, the pride of St. James, running back at Clemson in the early 2000s, that 03 team when LSU was busy winning a national championship. Chad was over there playing. Which bowl did y'all play in 2000? Did y'all go to CarQuest Bowl? Did y'all play in a bowl game?
No, we beat Tennessee.
You beat Tennessee?
Yeah,
what games did you beat Tennessee in?
What an intro.
You know I had to do it. Well, the way this came together, both Christian and Chad worked together at Mockler Beverage. So they're the Bud Man. I love it, man. There's our beer guys, and we got an LSU Tiger, a Clemson Tiger coming in studio. What's it been like around the office all summer leading up to this?
Chad, you want me to lead this?
Go ahead. Look at
Man, it's been competitive. Chad and I have been going back and forth the whole summer, whole spring. When we actually years before that, when they announced it, he's like, "Man, what are we going to do with this? We're going to steamroll y'all coming to our building. We're the real Death Valley." It's been pretty competitive, and now it's finally here. It's game on. It's put up or shut up. So we're ready to roll on our side.
Hey, Chad, what was it like watching being from Louisiana, working at Mockler, watching LSU and Joe Burrow absolutely annihilate Clemson in the national championship game?
Y'all are annihilated.
Bro! No. Spotted you 10 and then beat you by 3 touchdowns.
I know, right?
What are you talking about?
Matt, I gotta say one thing, and this is what we're gonna say. The last time we beat up on these guys, we got something like this.
Wait, hang on. Can you Paul, can you zoom right there?
I brought this in here for a reason.
He's going to come right here at you, that camera right there. LaCouture's got his 2019 national championship ring on.
Last time we beat up on these guys, this is what happened.
Look at that. Leave it up. I love that, man. Look at that. That's so good.
That's not top of the page.
Hey, look, Clemson's got a few of those too here of late. Hey, Chad, there's a lot of LSU fans that are going to be making their first trip to Clemson. We joke and it's fun and all, but this is going to be the first time for a lot of people to get to go watch LSU play, the first time they'll ever watch LSU play at Clemson. What can they expect when they go to a game there in Clemson?
Man, people going to welcome y'all with open arms. It's just like down here. We party. We have a lot of fun, ready to go.
You keep up with the team still a good bit? Oh, yeah, you watch every game all the time? Yes. Hey, man, so we've talked a bunch about this, man. One of the things with this game is, your position at running back is Phil Maffa was awesome last year. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. He's gone to the NFL. Now they're moving Adam Randall, a receiver, to running back. How? Shoot me straight, all right? You played the position at the college level.
Mm-hmm.
How realistic is it that you're going to have a dude go from receiver to running back at this level and just make it work?
Well, he's a big kid. He big. He started last year in the bowl game. So we gonna see.
You confident?
Yeah.
Why?
We Clemson.
How does that make you feel, Lac?
Look, we put the pads on. We're ready to roll. We don't talk. We just put the pads on.
Hey, man, you're not putting the pads on at all you ain't moving a single body. How much weight have you lost since you played?
It's been about
100 pounds.
My last year I was 305.
Yeah.
When I wore 18, today I weighed 260. So
man,
a lot of that Peloton. Shout out to Peloton,
dude. You carry 260, good man. You look way lighter than 260.
I can't show Coach Pete or Coach O this because we pride ourselves in that bump combo. I will get bumped out of that gap, man. I promise you.
Dude, you ain't moving nobody's body. No. Hey, why don't we? We should have done is we should have taken you two guys. We could have gone over to the Mockler facility, maybe the lawn in the front, or the basketball court.
Yeah.
Put the pads and see, what if Chad just met LaCouture in the hole?
Oh, that would have been bad.
For who? You?
For who?
Vacation. You go here.
It would have been bad?
Yeah.
I disagree because I think low man wins, okay? Inside hands win. And for you're carrying the ball. It's all about leverage. And you know that. It's all about leverage. Inside hands win. I don't think you guys train that way at Clemson like we do at LSU with that. I'm just saying. Low man wins, Matt. You know this.
Christian, give me your take on this LSU team.
Yep.
With it, the interesting thing is with LSU and Clemson, you have two of the most veteran, experienced, talented teams in the country. They've just gone about it in different ways.
Yep.
Clemson returned 16 starters. They got basically most returning production in the country.
Yep.
LSU did it all, save obviously Perkins is back and Nussmeier's back, but they went in the portal and went ham and got a bunch of experienced, talented dudes.
Yep.
How do you think that's going to, as a dude that was a leader at LSU, 18 jersey, like how quickly do you think that can come together for LSU?
I mean, I think they had a lot of time. Give credit to Coach Kelly going out and getting them early, and a lot of those guys came in, had the summer, a lot of player organized throws, and you have a leader like Nussmeier that can get those guys together, be organized, and have a routine before fall camp. You got to give credit to Coach Sweeney too with what he's done, be able to get these guys from high school. He wasn't really a big guy in the transfer portal in the beginning, being able to go out there, develop these guys, and now Chad and I were just talking about it. Those first couple of years they got there, freshmen, sophomores were young, inexperienced, and now these guys are junior and seniors, being able to show that experience. And he got a little more portal guys this year, but for what Coach Kelly has done, I think being able to get those guys early, come into the spring, some in the summer, but you have great leaders already there that are able to go in and have these organized things before camp, and they have camp get ready for that. And I think for me, I love these big games. I think it's good because you really get to see what your team is like. It's a whole 4-quarter game. You don't have guys just playing the first half, kind of like a Division I, whatever it is. When we had Georgia Southern, that first year in 2019, where guys were kind of out after the half. It's more of that coming in, learning, and have that big game, and you can play all 4 quarters, and you can really find out where your team is. So I think it's going to be a really good game, but I think they've had a lot of time to develop and play as a team during camp and summer.
Chad, you like the big game to open the season?
Yes.
Why do you think that's important? Or why do you like that?
Set the tone for the season.
But what if you, I hate to say it this way, but what if you lose? Like, somebody's going to lose, but it doesn't mean these teams aren't still really talented teams that can go on a run in a playoff era. Yeah. I think that's probably that's the thing that I keep, like LSU fans I keep hearing this from LSU fans a lot. Like, oh, it's a must win. Like, I don't think so. Like, I think this is an LSU team that week 3 is going to be better than week 1.
No doubt.
Week 8 is going to be really good. By the time, like Ohio State last year.
Right.
Ohio State lost 2 games. The whole narrative all season was Chip Kelly's offense. He hadn't quite figured it out yet, bro. When he figured it out,
clicking.
Well, that. It's like you get experience under your belt and you play in a conference like the SEC and now you get to play a team like Clemson, which is an SEC caliber team, right? So you have that game, and then that's why I love non-conference games like this, because you really get to find out what your team is like, and then you can learn off of that. When you go into conference play, we've had games like this, very similar, not an SEC where it will hurt you, but caliber players, they recruit the same kids. So you have that game where you can go into the SEC knowing where you're at, where are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and then you can develop that into these games that are maybe not as, I don't want to say not as big, but you have those games where we feel pretty good about, and then you can develop that and try to get those weaknesses into your strength over time.
But this game like this, you ain't got no room for no mistake.
No.
I agree. Like, you got to go.
This reminds me, so Tristan Lee is a starting left tackle at Clemson. Did you recruit him?
So I was there. It was the same year I was recruiting Mason Smith and Corey Foreman.
Corey Foreman.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Names
that was
from
fun.
recruiting past. Oh,
we
man.
could sit here all day and talk. It's great, but it was the same class. We had those 2 guys. And
should have done that last month. We should have just tell me recruiting stories.
We could be here all night.
Yeah.
But no, Tristan was a part of that class. I remember Coach Craig at the time recruiting him hard, trying to get those 3 to be best friends where we can get them all in here. And Mason obviously came, Corey didn't, and Tristan, they kind of fell apart. But man, those guys were all really close during the recruiting process, and he was a part of that. He's done really good there, and I'm proud of him. But we had a lot of talks when we recruited him. He was his family was awesome. He was awesome. He just ended up going to Clemson.
I remember also that was during the COVID year.
Yes.
Like his mom came on the show at times. Like he organized a visit here. Like when there was,
you couldn't talk to him with that.
Right.
We couldn't touch that. That was the thing. It was that dead period, if you remember. It was like, if you wanted to come, it was on you.
We're going to get picks for the game here in just a quick second from the guys. By the way, y'all going to have a few Bud Lights on the game?
Oh, yeah.
Betting a few Bud Lights? Yeah?
A few, probably a lot. I can't wait.
I know. It's going to be so fun just to sit and just binge on football and have a great day. And, of course, we're an official partner here with Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers. And we encourage you all the time, man, if you're out at the store, make sure you check out the white cans and aluminum bottles, because it's the official, it's an ode, a hat tip to LSU's white jersey. You'll find them at stores everywhere, so make sure you get them. You're drinking ice cold Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers this weekend. And you're also here, guys, because we're going to break a little news. Form Energy and Anheuser-Busch are announcing their first ever NIL deal.
Yep.
First ever.
Ever.
Look, we love Mockler locally here, right?
Yes.
And they've been awesome to us and LSU and the Saints and great partners with everybody. We're talking about Anheuser-Busch.
Yes.
Like this gigantic international company doing their first ever NIL deal in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with Witt and West Weeks as representatives of Form Energy. How about that, man? But what does that say about Witt and West and also the LSU brand?
Man, it's awesome. You know, when this was all kind of coming out, I remember hearing about it, and I was always talked about as, and remembering, is you start your team from the inside out. You know, your running back, your quarterback, your center, D-line, linebackers, to safety, and you work out. That's where you start your team. And for us, this is a mega brand for us, and we pride ourselves with this. This is the best energy drink in the market. But when you get guys like this, thumpers in the middle, that really, when you think of Form Energy, these guys really describe it. We couldn't be more excited. And like you said, with Anheuser-Busch, the king of beers, and Mockler Beverage, for us, man, we couldn't be more proud to work with this company and excited. And having these guys on board with this brand is just, it's exciting. It really is.
Man, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but like I've seen Dana White involved as well. I mean, this is it's a big thing. It's a massive brand with AB, with Anheuser-Busch, with Form Energy. And to come to Baton Rouge and to choose Witt and West Weeks is remarkable. I mean, when you think just nationally, if you're going to do an NIL deal, how you could go to any quarterback, what a statement to do this with these guys, which you just absolutely love to see this, man. So congrats to those guys and Anheuser-Busch and our friends locally here at Mockler. Form Energy, it's PHORM. If you're looking it up, formenergy.com, formenergy.com. You can follow Form Energy on Instagram, on Facebook as well. It's made for those who do the work in their everyday lives to unlock your full potential. A unique blend of ingredients aimed to support mental focus. Form Energy, it's got natural caffeine derived from green tea extract, electrolytes to support hydration. Form Energy, it's a collaboration between Anheuser-Busch and First Form and Dana White. For more information, again, on Form Energy, go to formenergy.com, PHORM, formenergy.com. You can follow Form Energy on Instagram and Facebook. And congrats to the Weeks brothers, man. By the way, do you know Witt and West at all? You get to meet them at all?
I haven't had a chance to, no.
Those two
awesome
dudes, and I haven't gotten to meet Zach yet, the youngest brother.
Yep.
They never stop smiling. It's almost like, are you really is it possible to really always be that happy?
Yeah.
But sure enough, man, they just got a great, you can tell they were raised great sense about just great family, great focus and outlook on life, great young people.
But that's exactly why we want with Mockler Beverage, with Anheuser-Busch, with Form, having guys like that a part of that Form Energy brand is special.
It's pretty incredible, man. So congrats to the Weeks brothers, and of course, congrats to Anheuser-Busch and our friends here at Mockler as well for getting this done. I mean, it's amazing. First ever NIL deal Anheuser-Busch has done. They're doing it right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with West and Witt Weeks with Form Energy. Formenergy.com. All right, y'all. Time of reckoning. Moment of reckoning.
Let's do it.
You want to go second? All right, Lain, go ahead. What you got? Tell me how it's going to go.
Well, I think, for us, it's going to be the key battle is going to be the LSU offensive line versus the Clemson defensive line. I think they have 3 first-round picks on their defensive line going forward. So I know we lost 4 out of our 5 starters last year. Again, we talked about earlier. You had that time chemistry to develop that chemistry with Nuss, with the running back, with the running scheme, with the pass blocking. I really feel that's going to be something for me. That's where I'm going to be watching. But I feel really strong. I think this is a year we finally break that curse with our first game. I think we have a lot of talent. I mean, it's for me. I know it's frustrating, but I think this is a year for us. I really feel like for us, we have the talent, we have the experience, we have number 18 at quarterback, and we just all around the board. I think we're going to click, and I think for us, we come out. I'd say 34-29 the LSU Tigers.
34-29. Okay, man. Some of y'all like points. All right, Chad, what you got? Pride of St. James, former Clemson running back. I mean, I know who you're picking, but give me a little reason why.
We got our offensive line. We got 4 to 5 guys back to protect our quarterback. Like you said, the defensive line, That's the strength of the team, probably. We got 6 receivers that probably going to be running all over the field. So, I'm going 35-15.
Oh, God.
35-15.
Yeah. That's what I like it.
Tell you something, man.
Matt, I don't think you can do that on your show.
If I'm sitting back here on Monday and this game goes 35-15.
Can we get back on here and talk about this?
I may just, like, I may hop a flight, like, to the Maldives or something and just be like, y'all got it.
Hey, we taking that serious. Y'all call us Death Valley Jr.
Well, can I say one thing on that? I'm
Sure.
I'm serious. And this is something that really I thought it was comical. Clemson put something out where they were like, let's pack it in orange, and it said 81.5. I'm like, you guys are proud about that? We got 102.5, and it's like you say 81.5 is really good. I mean, I think that's the difference between the ACC and the SEC, Matt.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Go look it up. Who was the loudest?
It don't matter.
We was 133.
You guys can run down that little tunnel, and Dabble can trip on his feet. I can't. Hopefully he does that.
That'd be so funny.
Would that not be hilarious? That's gonna show the game, dude.
We got to get out of here. Chad, Jasmin, Christian, LaCouture. We appreciate you fellas, man. Thanks for coming in and spending a couple of minutes having some fun.
Appreciate it, Matt.
Stick around, y'all. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Our friends over at River City's 1 Hour Air, they're the best for a lot of different reasons. They're going to do great work. They have expertly trained technicians. They invest so much into their people in continuing education, so they're always up to date with the latest technology, the latest techniques, so they can give you the best quality customer service. I've lived that. And when they come to your house, if you have an issue, they're going to give you a good, better, and best option. They're not just going to slap the most expensive thing in front of your face and say, here's what you need to do. They're going to show you the options of how you can have a system repair maintenance program. Like, that's what we did when we bought the house we did. The AC in our master bedroom was original on the home. We decided to continue maintaining it for years before it finally went out. They were great with it. It's River City's 1 Hour Air.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Mike Triplett, New Orleans Football, joins us here for a couple minutes. Mike, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Do you like how they make use of this sort of bonus week now before week one?
Well, I mean, I like that it exists. It's a smart use of the calendar, going to 3 preseason games and then giving this rest. I mean, it used to be when that bye week came, sometimes late in the season, people have been going for like 16 straight weeks. So I'm sure the players love it. The Saints could probably use about 10 to 20 more practices, though.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't think anyone's surprised necessarily that it landed on Spencer Rattler, but based on everything you saw, what's your reaction to the way that they went about and the decision they made?
Yeah, I mean, it made sense to me. It's what I would have envisioned. My biggest surprise was the reaction of so many people being like, this means it was a failure, it was a wasted draft pick. I mean, the day they drafted him, this would have been my prediction. I would think Tyler Shuck coming in and looking ready to start and being so impressive that the Saints were like, no, this is our guy week one. I think that would have been the surprise, or defying the odds, or historic trends. Like, obviously, you want him to be better than Spencer Rattler. One is a 5th-round pick, one is a 2nd-round pick. Rattler is 0-6 in his career. You want Shuck to be better. But I didn't think Shuck, I just looked this up the other day, he would have been the first quarterback picked outside of the top 20 to start in week one since Deshaun Kaiser in 2017. Guys picked in the 2nd round usually don't start right away. Sometimes guys picked in the top 10 don't start right away. So that would have been an outlier for him to win the job in week one, I think.
What anything on the final 53 or the first 53, if that's it, that stood out?
I think it was the bringing in guys from other places. I mean, we knew they were going to have to do that with the offensive line because of injuries. Will Clapp goes down, Lain and Young goes down. Nick Saldiveri went down earlier this offseason, even though I don't know for sure that he would have made the roster. But we knew they were going to have to do that. But, they've added 2 receivers over the last 2 weeks. They've added 2 offensive linemen over the last 2 weeks. And then a couple of their own positions, they picked younger guys over more established guys. Linebackers, Isaiah Stolbert and Jalen Ford over Nephi Sewell and DeMarco Jackson. Obviously, they traded away Colin Saunders a couple weeks ago, kept Christian Boyd, kept Rajon Wright. It for the first time kind of feels like, even though they won't admit this is a rebuild, they're treating it like one.
Yeah. He's Mike Triplett. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Mike, any other work on the roster you think they're going to do between now and September 7th against Arizona?
Sorry, hit mute for a second. I think they might be done. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are on the practice squad now that I think we could see playing in that game. If they want Cedric Wilson as a blocker, if they want Jack Stoll in that game, if they want Nephi Sewell playing special teams, I think some of the guys that are listed as practice squad now might be moved up to the roster, but I don't think there's a ton of avenues to add guys now that first wave has passed. The waiver claims have passed, the immediate pickups. I thought maybe we'd see a change at punter. We haven't seen that. So this might be the group they're rolling with at this point.
If I asked you, having gone through all of the offseason, the training camp practices, and the 3 preseason games, Has any of your opinion on this team changed, good or bad, from where you were, let's say, coming out of the draft when they started minicamp in the offseason?
I would say so much of it depends on health. I feel maybe a little better about their starting 22 in some areas than I did before, and I probably feel worse about their depth than I did before. So some areas where I feel better, I really think they're going to have a better run defense. I mean, how can they not have a better run defense after I mean, I think that was kind of the secret killer of this team in recent years. We made a lot of Dennis Allen, we made a lot of Derek Carr, and we made a lot of the injuries, and those were all factors. But run defense was kind of quietly the area of the team that just completely derailed them. And I think Devon Gottschall looks awesome. I think Brandon Staley has a good plan. I think they've really fortified the interior defensive line with some new additions this year. I think they can be competitive because I think they're going to have a good run defense. I feel pretty okay about Kool-Aid McKinstry and Alontae Taylor if he's healthy, even though that was a concern area after they lost Marshawn Lattimore and Paulson Adebo. I don't know if I feel better or worse about the offensive line. I thought maybe after the draft it had a chance to be a strength. It feels like a little bit of a question mark right now, but I do think Kelvin Banks was a good pick. The receiving core feels good when it's fully intact. Like I think they can be a competitive team if their starting 22 is on the field. But you know, they're an injury away at every single position group from things imploding.
That is one other thing that I was going to ask about are the injuries. Do you feel any concern on Penning, Taylor, which I guess really are the two key injuries we're watching right now?
Yeah, I mean, those are two guys that could have used a full training camp, especially Penning switching positions, but also Taylor having a new and really important role in this Brandon Staley defense. From all indications, week one is a possibility. It'll be soon after, if not week one. We had already heard that, and obviously the fact that they didn't put them on IR, supports that. So I don't think they'll miss a ton of time. But you'd like to see both of those guys hitting the ground running at 100% because they're counting on both those guys in a big way, especially Taylor. I mean, Taylor needs to be a borderline star or, one of the 3 or 4 best players on this entire defense.
What about Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau, two guys we probably haven't talked to? Do you have an update on those guys, by the way?
I would have thought we would have seen them practicing by now. I guess it makes sense to use this. All right, the PUP list gives you more time. If you'd brought them back for practice with 2 weeks left in August, they weren't going to play early anyway. But obviously we're looking at what, like they return to practice in week 5. They're take them forever to ramp up to speed after they missed all of OTAs and all of training camp. It's really going to be hard to count on much of anything from either guy. Mid-season replacements and smaller roles, I would think. But they've been around the entire time. They're on their feet. They're out on the practice field, sometimes working off to the side with trainers. So I do expect them both to play this year.
He's Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Next week when we speak, we'll be in a pregame mode with the Saints and the Cardinals. Mike, that feels like one that's gettable against Arizona. And they might want to get it because for the rest of September, there's not many that feel gettable. I don't know if you agree with that.
No, I mean, we were just talking about that. I mean, the NFL is a weird league. Even the Saints last year when they were down to like 3 actual NFL players healthy on their team, they almost beat the Commanders and the Buccaneers in December.
Right.
There's a few matchups I just don't think they could possibly win. If they were going to Baltimore or something like that, or going to Kansas City. But yeah, absolutely. If things fall their way, if they have a smart game plan, week 1 is a good time to speak up and get somebody with some surprises. I think they got smart offensive and defensive coaches right now when it comes to game planning. Sure, you can talk yourself into that. I mean, I think the Cardinals are 6.5-point favorites. I would not I would not bet the Cardinals and hope they win this game by a touchdown, but I'm not going to pick the Saints to win this game.
I'm sorry. Did you say the Cardinals? I haven't looked at the line. The Cardinals are a 6.
I haven't looked at every book. I saw somebody lay out all the odds on Twitter and had Cardinals at 6.5.
Oh my God! I'm looking at it right now, Mike. Mike, it is rare to see a touchdown spread in the NFL, let alone a road team as a touchdown favorite.
Keep looking, because it's 7 in week 2, 7 in week 3, and like 14 in week 4.
Oh my God, this is going to be such a long year. But let's see those young guys.
You know what's funny, though?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I am not going to try to sell anyone on the Saints. It is going to be a long year. I'm glad they're embracing a long year. Go ahead and don't try to make moves to get to 7 wins. Like, look at the young players, evaluate it. But the like overall just dismissal of the Saints. I mean, I even see it in fantasy rankings. I mean, like Alvin Kamara is behind Chuba Hubbard. Chris Olave is like 38th among receivers. Like it is pretty amazing to me how everyone is just like, oh, that team stinks, and they're just completely dismissed. I think they can exceed some of those expectations.
Mike, they're a touchdown favorite at home or underdog at home against Arizona. That's
crazy.
That is
crazy. That
is jarring to see that number. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll preview a game where got LSU in the brain. Where the New Orleans Saints
we
are.
got LSU versus New Orleans. Week 1.
That one, I'm quite confident the New Orleans Saints would. I'm quite confident an NFL team. Yeah. The worst NFL team would blow the doors off the best college team ever. That's that.
Is the next Saints quarterback playing in the other Death Valley?
You tell me. Well, there's only one. There's only one, but you tell me.
There's 2, right?
No,
okay.
Mike. That's kind of like what that this will make sense.
No, I meant there's 2 quarterback candidates. I forgot about the sacrilege I was speaking.
Yes. No, it's okay. I say that the analogy I always give to people who talk about Clemson Death Valley, it's that's like Mobile claiming Mardi Gras. Like I don't care if you were first. Everyone knows New Orleans is Mardi Gras. That's just not even a conversation except for the people in Mobile who want to say it. It's the same thing with Death Valley and Clemson. Same thing. All right, Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Thank you. Looking forward to doing it Thursdays throughout the season, man.
All right, thanks for having me.
We appreciate you. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Man, you're going to need a lot of Evamore during the week this year to stay hydrated after the Saints games on Sunday. Bro, I did not realize they were a touchdown home underdog to Arizona. Do me a favor, Muse, in the break. Please Google how many point spreads in the NFL were a touchdown a year ago. See if you can find that. That's got to be. Ask AI. Ask ChatGPT to find it. All right, it's after further review. I got to grab a quick break. Some awful news for LSU football, and I'm not talking about AJ Haulcy. I'll share that with you. What a day. It's AFR.
AFR.
Duplessis Builders, if you're thinking about building a pool, you want to call Duplessis Builders for a lot of reasons. I love being able to tell you about the pool building experience because by now you know that if I'm going to endorse a contractor on this show, I'm going to endorse the best. Like it's just the nature of how we do things, and it's people and products that I would use that I'm comfortable lending my name to. And ask anybody that's built a pool, and a lot of times they'll give you a horror story about how that went, the process, something that happened thereafter. Derek Duplessis is so upfront from the beginning. Like, expect this to be a 2-month process. They're not going to cut corners. Like, he's a mechanical engineer. He knows how long it takes for concrete to cure. They're not going to skip a step until they've given that enough time to let the concrete cure before they move on to tiling and coping and all the other stuff. That's how they're able to give you a 10-year workmanship warranty. It's duplessisbuilders.net. Hit it.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Luba Workers' Comp, Our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
It was kind of a turd in a punch bowl day. Found out earlier AJ Haulcy might be suspended for the first half of the game against Clemson, and then very candidly found this news out last night, was expecting it today. But Tristan Keys, the 5-star #1 wide receiver in the country who had been committed to LSU, he flipped to Tennessee. That became official just a few minutes ago. If you want to get the full story, it's up at louisianasports.net. When you have a heads up on some of these things, you get things written already, so Hunt had it ready to go. But Tristan Keys flips to Tennessee, so LSU loses 5-star. Keys was the second highest ranked commit in the class, behind only Lamar Brown. But now LSU's top receiver, the top receiver commit in the country, is now flipped to Tennessee. It's never great losing a prospect. It sucks even more when you lose it to someone in your conference where you potentially could see them. So Tristan Keys flips to Tennessee. It'll be interesting to see if LSU targets another wide receiver somewhere along the way. Is that something potentially where LSU is looking at the transfer portal? When you look at all the guys that are going to be gone, because you're going to lose Hilton and Xavier Thomas and Aaron Anderson, and very likely Nick Anderson and Barrion Brown will be out of eligibility. So you got a lot of young receivers, but you're not going to have a lot of experience at that position coming back. So losing Tristan Keys stings, but he's flipped to Tennessee. Okay, it is After Further Review. All right, real quick, I'm going to get Brian Kelly is meeting with reporters right now, and he just updated the AJ Haulcy stuff. I'll get to that in a second. I asked Muse to look this up in the break. Okay, I had not looked at the spread for Saints-Cardinals, and I was just sort of assuming, looking at the first 4 games, that New Orleans was going to have a chance to beat the Cardinals, but then probably lose their next 3. And Mike Triplett mentioned that the Cardinals were a 6.5-point favorite in the Superdome, which floored me, because there's I don't know if you follow sports betting or not, you just don't see a lot of touchdown point spreads in the NFL. It's just not very common. There's so much parity in that league. So I asked Muse to look. All right, what did you find?
So in 2024, there were 9 instances of a spread closing touchdown or more in the NFL. 9 of them.
9. Now, in fairness, this is a half a point under a touchdown. It's 6.5, not 7. but we're right there.
Yes.
How many games in an NFL season total?
Oh.
Hey, Siri, how many NFL games are there across the entire league in the season? No, I don't want the schedule, you idiot. I hate Siri. Siri's the worst.
I'll just Google.
Let's say there's 1,000 games. I mean, 32 games. 32 teams play 17 games, but again, they're playing each other. So I guess it would be 16 times. Would you do 16? I'm so bad at it.
272 regular season games.
Okay, so it would be 16, right? 16 times 17 would be the answer, right? 16 teams, 17 game schedule.
32 teams playing a 17.
Right, 32, but they play another team, so you have the number.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Got you.
Anyway, I think I did that right. I might not have done
272 games.
Great.
Here's the answer.
272 games in the NFL season, 9 times was there a touchdown or more favorite.
Yeah.
And you said it was week 10?
Week 10 was the first one.
So when teams are out of the playoffs and they start, or are injured or whatever the case may be, and could you find how many were road favorites?
Just 3.
Okay.
Just 3 of them.
So 272 games, 3 times last year, out of 272 games, 3 times was a road team favored by a touchdown or more in the NFL. The Cardinals are favored by 6.5 over the Saints in the Dome next Sunday. By the way, that's not Patrick Mahomes. That's not peak Tom Brady. That's not Drew Brees. That's not greatest show on turf. That's Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, who are a touchdown favorite in your building next week. Yes, the Saints are going to suck hard this year, and I'm good with it. I'm not going to yell about it. Told you that. I know they're going to suck. I'm ready for them to be better. They got to get the younger guys better. Okay. Brian Kelly meeting with reporters. If you missed the news earlier today, AJ Haulcy might be suspended for the first half against Clemson. He was ejected in the finale for Houston last year against BYU, which means he would have to sit out the first half of the first game of this season. Here was Brian Kelly when asked for an update on Haulcy.
Yeah, we're waiting for clarification on that. We were informed on his situation on Wednesday, so we'll see where that ends up. We're practicing him, preparing to play him, and we'll wait for further guidance.
He was asked also, where was this coming? Was this investigation coming from the NCAA? Here's the answer.
I think it's a little bit of conference and certainly NCAA rulings, right? In terms of what the circumstances are at the end of the game. So there's our conference has been great. Greg Sankey's been great, providing certainly the support, and we'll wait for a decision, and then we'll plan accordingly.
So best case scenario, Haulcy's available, you start him. Worst case scenario, he misses the first half, and I would assume they would start Deshaun Spears. They could start Jordan Gilbert, start a more veteran player, but I would assume Spears would probably be the guy. A total guess on my part. I don't know what they would do. Brian Kelly talked about the safety play where they're no doubt more experienced and more talented than they were a year ago, but still Haulcy's your best guy.
Well, Deshaun Spears is playing a lot of football for us. Jordan Gilbert. So, you've got, pretty good depth. Javian Toviano. We feel really good about our defensive backfield. So, like I said, we're dealing with it the same way you guys are. We're waiting for information. Once we get it, we'll adjust accordingly and be ready to play Clemson.
What a day. AJ Haulcy potentially suspended for the first half of the opener. Tristan Keys flips. With vibes high, LSU headed toward this much-anticipated season opener. Not exactly what you want to be talking about right now as we're heading into 48 hours away from kickoff. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be First South Farm Credit. I know what's happening right now for a lot of people is hunting season's almost here. Maybe you share that hunting lease, that hunting property. You hunt on someone else's lease, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I would love to have my own piece of property. Well, First South Farm Credit can make that happen. Look them up at firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com, because for more than 100 years, First South Farm Credit has done one thing. They help Louisianians buy land. So you want to buy that hunting property? First South Farm Credit can help. You want to buy 1,000 acres for agriculture? First South Farm Credit can help. You want to buy 20 acres to build your family's dream home? First South Farm Credit should be your first call. By the way, they can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. So it's not just Baton Rouge or just Louisiana. First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. All right, it is after further review. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks to give us the rest of the picks. He did have a pick on the first game, which is Boise State, South Florida. A South Florida who Jimmy had plus 5.5 just went into the end zone. 9-7 with 6 minutes to go in the first half. PAT is good, 10-7. South Florida leading number 25 Boise with 6.5 to play in the first half. All right, Jimmy's here for Auto Locks next on AFR.
AFR.
We all know plants up and down the river, how much oil and gas, how much the petrochemical industry means to our state's economy. And for 43 years, Action Industries has serviced those industries better than anyone. ActionIndinc.com, Action Industries Incorporated. They are safety focused. You got to be, right? You don't get hired to do work inside the fence if you don't have an exemplary safety record. You want to go to the website, learn more about their safety record. If you want to see testimonials from clients, the awards they've won, the safety recognitions and designations and commendations they've been given, you can do it right there at ActionIndinc.com, Action Industries Incorporated. They're safety focused and they do exemplary work. It's Action Industries. Proud partner of LSU Athletics, Action Industries, innovation in action.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioneer.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. We always appreciate Blasia, Rivette, the great team over at Decision Critical. We say it all the time. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Maybe you're caring for an aging parent and you need help at home. Maybe you're bringing home a newborn and need help sleeping through the night. Their expert nurses can come stay at your home while you all sleep, take care of the baby at night. If it's IV hydration, they can come to you. If it's therapeutic phlebotomy, they can come to you. Home office, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. It's Decision Critical. Schedule that discovery call at decisioncriticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
10-7 South Florida leading Boise. Attaboy, Otter!
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Back and forth, man. Now Boise State has a drive, but this may be coming back due to a penalty. So South Florida's had one touchdown already called back for a penalty. Actually, it's going to be a tackle on a personal foul.
Okay.
That's how South Florida, so they had one wiped off by a penalty and on a holding penalty, and then they extended a drive on a penalty by Boise State, and they made it 80 yards for their only score of the game. So back and forth, Boise State. What's that?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to ask you if there was any value in an in-game in this for anybody who missed it at kickoff.
What is the number right now? I'm not looking at it, man.
South Florida plus 3.5.
Yeah. Not as strong, but yes, still over a field goal. So we had 5.5 of when we submitted it earlier today. East Carolina and NC State. You know, these two teams played in a January 1st, 1992 Peach Bowl. And Jeff Blake became the Saints quarterback.
1
led them
minute
to a
remaining.
20-0 win. Down 17. Anyway, they went in a bowl game again last year. ECU is now going to take it again tonight. Plus 14, the Pirates in that in-state rivalry. Buffalo plus 17.5. And then we're going to go with the Matt Rule in year 3. Rayola's got a lot of additions around him. Nebraska -6 in the late one on this ESPN doubleheader.
East Carolina, Buffalo, Nebraska to go along with South Florida. Where are Football Friday at Rafina's.
Yeah.
LFG.
Are you ready for some football?
What?
Oh, I gotta
Are you
wait.
ready for some football?
Muse was mouthing something. I'm like, what are you talking about? Friday at Ravina's. All right, man. Good luck. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good luck.
All right, there's Jimmy I. Muse Paulie, thanks. See you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. You better hurry. My buddy Martin texted me last week. He put together a fine special just through the end of this month, which means you have until tomorrow. If you want tires, it's their kickoff special. Michelin and Toyo only. Michelin Toyo only. If you need tires, listen. Like if you are putting off buying tires, listen. Michelin and Toyo, buy 3, get the 4th free if you use Shawbill's credit card, new or existing. Or buy 3, get the 4th half price with any other form of payment. This isn't they inflate the prices just so they can then give you a quote-unquote discount. No, it's a great deal, and it's at Shawbill's. And it's only to the end of this month, so you better go tomorrow. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com for more than 50 years. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.